Yeah, they Test, test. 1 2 1 2. This is a internet test. There's an air ball. 4-point game, 4:36 remaining. Hobbs down by 4. We'll be back in just a moment with more. Once again, Hobbs losing possession of the ball with 3:54 remaining in this fourth quarter. Down by 4. It's been a while since anybody has scored. It's been 59-55 for a little while. Both sides struggling to find the bottom of the net. And Roswell with the possession right now. As this time, not an air ball, a 3-point shot. Brings it back up to 7 for the Coyotes. This is JV. Varsity up right after this as we give you bonus coverage once again on your No Mark Broadcasting networks, whether it be on Cool 95.7's Facebook page. You also have it on HobbsAmerica.com or YouTube on the Hobbs Sports page. We also have the girls playing as well in Hobbs, as some of you may know. Both of these games will be on the internet. Of course, you can watch them afterwards anytime at all. We'll also have them on the radio, whether it be on Cool 95.7 for us or on the Eagle 100.5 for the girls. 2:56 remaining, and it is now a 9-point lead for the Coyotes. Hobbs is going to have to generate some really big offense to get back in this game if they want any chance to win. Come back in just a moment, let you know what's going on right here on No Mark Broadcasting Network. That's the second shot in a row for a three-pointer in the corner by the Coyotes. Missed one earlier, but made the last two, and now has up by 10, the Coyotes are. That was a nice little floater for Hobbs to get it back down to 8 once again, but still 2:30 remaining. Hobbs has got to get on the ball and be able to get the ball back quicker than they have been. Get some possessions away from Roswell. And that didn't help. There we go. Letting a rebound. Another teardrop. In and out, though. But rebound. And a foul. Not going to be a shooting foul. Still not in bonus yet. 2 minutes to go in this game. Hobbs needing some points. Down by 8. 67-59 over the or under the Coyotes here in Coyote Country. for Roswell. Varsity game coming up shortly after this. As soon as we know what time it is, usually it's about 15 to 20 minutes for the warm-up. Another miss on the free throw for Hobbs, because they need all the points they can get if they want to get this victory. We were talking to some of the players earlier in the season, like Braylon Vega, who's a sophomore. His favorite subject is English. His favorite team, NBA team, is the Warriors, the Golden State Warriors. Second one is a make. 7 points difference. He also wants to go to Arizona if he gets to go to university. His favorite player is Kobe Bryant, and his dream job is to be in real estate. Braylon Vega. We'll be back in just a moment. Let you know what's going on. We have a timeout going on the court right now, just in case you know or didn't know. 67-60, Eagles down by 7. And that is the JV squad. Coming back in just a moment. While we have a moment, let's go ahead and thank the sponsors once again. First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Elite Home Healthcare, Lee County State Bank, Lasco Construction, TDS, Thriftway, NMR Pipeline, The Coffee House, Devon Energy, The Model, Divine Energy Services, along with Hydrotech Services, and Ampersand Media and Design. Thank you all very much for your support. Give you some live coverage of the JV game as it's going down to 7 points. Coyotes still in the lead with 1:38 remaining in the game, followed by the varsity between Roswell Coyotes and your Hobbs Eagles. And don't forget, we also have some action going on throughout Lee County, whether it be Tatum. We also have Eunice, Zhao, and yes, the Hobbs Lady Eagles as well at Tasker Arena. Coming back in just a moment to let you know what's going on. Another timeout for the JV. Coyotes are up by 7 there. So actually, game was had a comfortable lead for the Hobbs Eagles. At halftime, it was 38-25. And then a 25-14 run for Roswell in the third caused this game to be 2-point difference. 52-50, Hobbs still had the lead, but still in the fourth quarter it has been mostly Roswell. 69-62 is what the score is right now. Got about a minute and a half remaining before this game is over with. Hobbs still trying to get in the game, but so far has not been able to generate any offense. And 6 points, 2 trays helped the cause for the Roswell Coyotes JV game. We'll be back in just a moment to let you know what's going on. Just got a final from Tatum as they were playing Loving. It was a stomp as Tatum won the girls 73-13 over Loving, the Loving Falcons. Tatum is just rolling along with the big wins. Looks like we have a technical on the floor for the JV. Probably going to be against Hobbs. We'll see here in just, no, actually it's against Roswell. There's a chance. Both sides are in the bonus now with 5 fouls each. 71-64, 50 seconds remaining as Hobbs is on the line to shoot some free throws for Tech. Missed that one off the back badly. Needs to readjust. Actually, no, he's one and done. So we get another shooter on. See if he has any better luck. Yes, he did. Dropped it. 6-point game right now. Has another shot. There was a foul and a tech. Refs are conferring it. One more shot on the charity stripe. Could make it a 5-point game once again. Hobbs trailing, and it does. 71-66, 50.4 seconds remaining in this game. And then there will be the varsity game with the Roswell Coyotes as they play against your Hobbs Eagles. Just remind you about what, of course, this is the first district game of the season for both sides. That one is not going to fall. Great comeback. That was a good adjustment. Made it. It's now a 3-point game. As Roswell turns over the ball once again, 28.1 remaining. Could be another possession for Hobbs if they get it in. Could be possibly a 1-point game. And nope, air ball, but it is rebounded by Roswell. So with 19.2, Hobbs will get the ball back after a couple of free throws. For Roswell. 4-point game. This one comes down to the wire for Hobbs. That'll be a timeout for Hobbs. Coming back in just a moment, but we will remind you that, of course, after this game, Roswell Coyotes, who come in with an 11-9 record, and they are 5-4 at home against or under Coach Dude Barella, will be facing your Hobbs Eagles at 8-12. They are 3-5 away. They need to win a majority of the games. In fact, actually, if they want to get a 500 record, they need to win 5 of the next 6 games, 3 on the road, 3 at home. And that will help the cause to get them in, because that would also possibly get them a district championship. One step at a time, they're going to win their games. All right, coming back in a moment, we have less than 20 seconds remaining in this game. A 4-pointer for the JV as the Eagles have the ball here in a moment. We'll see if they can come back and get this victory, clutch it out of the jaws of defeat. Once again, this one's coming down to the wire. 8.8 seconds remaining in timeout. Roswell, as it is a 4-point game, 72-68. And looks like it could be over here pretty soon unless Hobbs is able to get a 3-pointer plus a 1 that could tie the game, and it could go into overtime. But at this point, does not look likely. However, you never know. I mean, that's the reason why they play the game. But it is 8.8 seconds remaining. Timeout on the court. And Roswell with a lead of 4. Coming back in just a moment. First, we're going to get you up to date on what's going on with Hobbs Varsity as we are about to face the Roswell Coyotes in the first district game of 2024 right here on Cool 95.7's Facebook page, along with HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube, yes, on the Hobbs Sports channel. Huge three-pointer right there with 0.9 seconds to go. Not a chance to win the game unless they get the ball back real quick and are able to get it in for another 3. 74-71, Eagles down by 3 with just under a minute, 0.9 seconds remaining. All they have to do, all the Coyotes have to do is inbound the ball, and that's pretty much the game. And there it is. 74-71 is the final. Eagles fall by 3 after they had the lead. They had a 13-point lead at halftime. That is the JV game, and we will set up for Hobbs Eagle varsity action, as well as, of course, we're going to have it on Cool 95.7. We're going to find out in just a moment how long it's going to be before we get it started. And we'll let you know before that happens. Till then, just keep listening, watching on Cool 95.7's Facebook page. You also have it on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube on the Hobbs Sports Channel. About to start on pregame. Just to let you know out there who is watching feed on the internet that Hobbs has owned the Roswell Coyotes since 1949. 122-27 is what the record is overall. 17-10 in the last 27 games. And the last time that Hobbs lost was twice. It was swept back in the 2020 season when it went to 2021, and it was a shortened season. Once again, Hobbs owns Roswell. That doesn't mean they're going to beat them tonight easily because they're going to have some handicaps with 3 players missing. We'll talk about the pregame. 122-27 is the record Hobbs has against Roswell since 1949. We'll come back in just a moment or two and get you started on the pregame show. Welcome everybody to live Hobbs Eagle action, the basketball. Yeah, we're on now. As we are on, we're about to get started on the pregame. We are here in Coyote Country as we're facing the 11-9 Roswell Coyotes versus, of course, Hobbs Eagles at 8-12. Yes, we're on. And just getting everything set up for this game. Should be a good one. We're missing 3 players. Talk about that in just a moment as we get everything set up. And other than that, it's our first home, of course, first district game for Hobbs. Of course, it's also a first district game for Roswell. Roswell hasn't played in about a week. They played last time to Artesia. Also, Hobbs' opponent as well. Both had similar outcomes. They both beat Artesia. Not similarly as far as point-wise, but both very close games. Low scoring. We're hoping that Hobbs can come out and be able to produce what they did against Cleveland about 10 days ago. That would be perfect, even though, like I said, they're going to be playing handicapped. They're missing 3 players, 2 of them with sickness and 1 of them with an injury that looks like he will not be able to overcome tonight especially. So this is very important. First game for Hobbs as they get on the road. And they definitely need, if they want any kind of chances on playoffs, they're definitely going to need to get this victory against this Roswell team. They do own the team since 1949, 122 wins, 27 losses, but that does not guarantee a victory tonight. Just means that they have been able to come in here and beat this Roswell team over the last many, many years since 1949, like I said. Just getting everything set up. And looks like the video is good and running. Want to thank Evie back in the studio for all her help as far as getting us hooked up and on the radio on Cool 95.7, where you listen to all your favorite oldies. I hate saying oldies because I used to grow up with them. So to me, they're not oldies. They're it's almost current radio. And then you look back and you go, oh my gosh, it's been that long since I heard that song. All right. Let's get into it with our pregame. Of course, right here is going to be Ty Friend to help us out.
Welcome to Roswell. Time for Hobbs Eagle basketball as a big game to start off the district schedule. Of course, the Eagles coming in with an 0-0 record just like the Coyotes. Yep. And again, I think they've been waiting for a couple of weeks now to kind of get all those pre-district games off their back. They are 8-12, under 500, but again, the records go blanked out here with this big game on the road. Of course, the Eagles taking on Artesia this past week, and kind of a lackluster win in that contest. Only a 4-point victory, 55-51. Hobbs did manage 3 in double figures. Abraham Pena 14, 11 for Braylon Vega, and Jairus Turbiantes with 10. But really a big comeback for Artesia in that game, and the Eagles really didn't do a bad job of containing the basketball. They had only 11 turnovers in that game, but still, just not taking advantage of opportunities in some parts. Let Artesia get back into the contest and ended up only getting that 4-point victory. Hobbs just got 4 3-pointers in the game, shot 66% from the field, and once again did with 24 rebounds. Parker Henderson was the leader in terms of ripping the glass down. He had 11 boards in that game, so definitely doing a great job in terms of cleaning it up for the Eagles there. But again, Artesia, not anything to sneeze at, though. I mean, they've been in the playoffs, got towards the championship a few times the last couple of years, so it was a good victory. But still, you have to take a look at the games between some other squads like Roswell. Roswell beat them a week earlier by 10 points, and Hobbs only winning by 4. So that kind of amps it up here just a bit. Ron mentioned already some of the injuries and illnesses the Eagles are going to have to deal with Malachi David being out for this one. He is sick. Nick Pena, who's been coming in and out the bench, he's also sick as well. And then Javen Hernandez, who's been doing a great job with some board work and getting some points off the bench, too. He's out with an ankle injury. Also mentioned, too, that Braylon Vega was sick yesterday, according to Coach Reeves, and so we'll just have to wait and see how he's going to perform. He's also warming up at this point. There's been several JV players brought up on the roster as well for the Eagles, so we'll see if they get any spot time or whether they're needed in terms of full play in this ball game. But again, brand new season right now for both of these teams. Roswell, a little better record at this point, 11-9 compared to the Eagles 8-12. But when you take a look at that strength of schedule, we've talked about this quite a bit this season. Hobbs definitely with an advantage with harder opponents throughout the season. Hobbs coming in at a 15.9 strength of schedule, Roswell at 6.1. So that's a big discrepancy between those two. Hobbs checks in at number 18 in the Max Preps poll, and Roswell at 21. So this is kind of the lower rankings that the Eagles and some of their district opponents have had over the years, although Clovis up at number 9, and they're definitely a force to be reckoned with. They have a strength of schedule of 12.2, double digits just like the Eagles, a little bit less than the Hobbs, but still doing some good things, really turning the program around. They've had some problems, hit some hurdles the last couple of seasons, but it looks like they're pretty decent at this point. So anyway, Hobbs coming in here with this game on the road. Again, some teams like to play road games, get away from the home crowd where a little bit of the pressure is, Ron, but still, I mean, both teams have something to prove here. You definitely want to win on your home court, and Roswell doesn't want to come off with a loss here, then have to go and play Hobbs down at Tasker, which usually turns around the other way.
Yeah, and you definitely want to make sure that you start off the district right. Both sides have been winning some games. Hobbs, not as much as Roswell, but on the other hand, like you just mentioned a moment ago, Hobbs has got a stronger strength of schedule. I think that's going to make a big difference in this game right here because they've had some really strong opponents that they've been able to overcome. They almost got past Cleveland just not too long ago, but they just could not get it together in the fourth quarter. I think this time around they can be able to get their team together as far as bonding. They've done a lot of that over the last couple of months, and I think they're definitely going to be able to play well against this Roswell team. I said that, of course, against Artesia. Didn't work out as well, but they did get the victory, and that's all that matters. In the end, it doesn't matter if you get a 5-point victory or a 30-point victory. You definitely want the victory, but it will help the strength of schedule if they do better as far as the points.
Handful of common opponents between the two teams. Oregon Mountain ranked 3rd in the state. With Roswell only losing by 4 to them. Eagles lost by 13, although that was a road game in Las Cruces. Roswell got to play at home for their matchup with them. Number 2, Cleveland, you mentioned. Roswell getting blown out by 38, Hobbs by 14, so somewhat both negatives on that one. Sandia, the 6th-ranked team in the state. The Hobbs Eagles lost by a handful of points, and Sandia defeated Roswell by 8. El Dorado, the 13th-ranked team. El Dorado knocked off Roswell by 9 points. Taking a look at some other common opponents, Las Cruces High. It was Roswell losing by 9. The Eagles beat Las Cruces High in Tasker Arena, so that's a +4 Hobbs in that one. Kind of a real discrepancy was the Mayfield game, one that Roswell won by 2. Hobbs lost by 5 on the road in Las Cruces on that one. Centennial, Roswell losing by 2, Hobbs winning by 3. And we got the national anthem. We'll take a 90-second break and come back live with more Hobbs Eagle Hoops. Welcome back to Roswell. Hobbs Eagle basketball, district game number 1. Eagles on the road tonight. They will play at home Friday against Clovis, so some tough starts here in the district schedule. Top scorer for the Hobbs Eagles has been most of the season, Abraham Pena, averaging 17.8 points a contest. He's followed with Braylon Vega's 10.7, those two averaging in double figures. Jairus Turbiatis at 7.7 a game. And a couple other guys stepping up and scoring this season. One that probably won't be playing tonight, Malachi David. He averages 4.9. He is out sick. Parker Henderson starting to move himself up a little bit in the scoring, close to 5 points a game. And also one of the top rebounders on the team. He's got 6 boards a game. And we should mention the top board man, though, with Jairus Turbiatis at 7.1 boards a contest. So those are some of your top scores so far as the Hobbs Eagles coming to this one with an 8-12 record. Now, these two teams played last year, of course, in district. Eagles winning both of them, 75-64 in the first and 79-75 in the second. So Hobbs in the 70s in both games. A closer game in the second one, only winning by 4 in that one. The biggest difference between the two teams was in the first quarter. Hobbs getting 49 points in the combined games in the first. Roswell only 29, so Hobbs with a 20-point differential in that quarter. And then actually Roswell owning the third quarter in the two games last year, 42-31 overall. Teams were deadlocked at 37 apiece in the fourth quarter. So when it got down to the wire, back and forth scoring between the two teams. Now a couple of guys stepped up for Hobbs in those games last year. Mackey, of course, who's graduated, he was averaging 24 in the two games. Vega averaged 12, Pena 7.5, and Henderson averaging 2 points. So 4 players getting some scoring opportunities, 3 of those back on this team this year. And it was kind of hit-miss for Roswell. The Fuentes kid scored 22 points in the first game against Hobbs. He was perfect on the charity stripe, 9 for 9, but did not score in game 2. And then it was a different kid, Saraceno, who had 21 points in the second game, did not score in game 1. So, again, those guys are back on the team this year for Roswell. So Fuentes 22 and Saraceno 21 definitely can put some points down. Carrasco was the only guy that scored in both games. He had 2 in the first game and 6 in the second. He is back on the team this year. So kind of take a look at the squads from last year. In terms of the three-point shot in the first game, Hobbs managed 5 3-pointers for Vega, definitely shooting the lights out from deep, definitely getting some good strokes there. Cloud and Fuentes, both with Roswell, they had only 4 3-pointers combined. Hobbs ended up with 8 as a team, so they were in the advantage there. Game 2, the 3-point shots for Roswell, they finished up with 6. Saraceno had half of those for Roswell, really getting a good shot outside, and the Eagles only had 4 3-pointers in that one. Pena picking up 1 as one of the returners on this squad this year. So kind of looking at those numbers, Hobbs went 30 of 38 from the free throw line in those 2 games last year, and a lot more attempts for Roswell. They were 37 of 50, so 12 more free throw opportunities there. A couple of those games, kind of some a lot of fouling going on there too, which needed to be cleaned up just a bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I expect to see a lot cleaner game, especially with the 5. Once you get into the 5, then you get into the bonus. Of course, that's every single quarter. I expect also to see a whole lot of perimeter shooting going on, especially from the Coyotes. So Hobbs needs to go ahead and protect that perimeter, be able to make them work inside. They've been doing that so far this season. I think they can continue doing it, cut off those passing lanes as well.
Starting lineup for the Coyotes tonight. Number 3, Zai Carrasco. Number 4, Stephen McCaskill. Number 20, Jalen Cloud. 21, Josh Martinez. And number 23, Rylan Saraceno. For your Hobbs Eagles, Braylon Vega, Abraham Pena. Lyric Soria getting a start tonight with some of the injuries and illnesses. He's just a freshman, but definitely going to be a big part of this offense as the years go along. Jairus Turbiatis in post, along with big man Parker Henderson, who will be jumping up against Stephen McCaskill to get this game started. Eagles black uniforms on the road trip, white with the black numbers for Roswell, and we're ready for some basketball here in Coyote Land. The tip goes in for the Eagles right at the half-court line, and Lyric Soria comes down. The freshman gets the first possession for Hobbs. He'll be picked up on defense quickly at the time stripe by Saraceno. Gives it off to Vega right elbow, back to Soria with a fadeaway on the right base, hits off the side of the rim. Henderson comes down, tries to go up a second time after it comes off the rim the first, and puts it back in for 2, his first bucket of the ball game. Again, he has got 6 rebounds a contest for Hobbs, second on the team behind Turbiatis with 7.1. Roswell quickly in the front court, a bounce pass down to the left block, and a little quick shot over the left rim, putting it through for the first points for Roswell. Point blank range, Josh Martinez. We're tied at 2. They're going to go with some trap pressure in the backcourt for Roswell. Spinning in trouble here is Pena, deep left corner. Sails it down to Soria at the timeline, across to Vega, far left. Front court, back deep to Pena at the time stripe. Top of the arc off the dribble, fires up a three. Swish it through, the defender dropped off for a second. Josh Martinez, and Pena makes him pay for it with a long tray on that one. Definitely a great shot for Pena. One of the team leaders in 3 shots. He's got 27 to make it 28 with that one. At the other end, a roaming a hook shot in the paint off the front of the rim. Rebound for Parker Henderson. Already his 2nd rebound. Outlet to the timeline to Pena to slow it down. He's going to wait for the team to get set up on the rotation here as Soria comes to the left wing. Pena will back out of the play at the timeline. One hands over to Turbiatis in front of the Roswell bench right. Back deep to Soria. Tries to get it down to Henderson, but throws a lane pass down there, and it gets taken away as a strip by Josh Martinez for the first Eagle turnover, and they're going to call the foul on Hobbs as well, reaching out and slapping after trying to get the ball back. Soria gets the foul.
Got caught out of position, just could not seem to get in front of the player, so did the best he could and drew the foul.
Inbound to the backcourt and taking the dribble up the front to Jalen Cloud here as he unloads to the left corner. Shot on the way for 3 for Saraceno. They called a late foul on that one, knocking the shooter backwards. Soria tried to get a hand up. That's already going to be a quick 2 fouls on Soria.
Yeah.
And that'll be a 3-point shot here or 3-point free throw opportunity for Rylan Saraceno. So we mentioned him last year, was able to pick up some points against the Eagles. They beat Goddard a few weeks ago. He had 22 points in that game and 12 points in the first quarter alone, so he can come out quickly for this squad. First free throw up and good for Saraceno. Roswell is now down 5-3 to the Eagles. The Roswell JV winning earlier in this night of basketball. Second shot is up and good. He's getting 3 on this one. He's 2 for 2 on the line so far. Bear with us on the radio. We're having a little bit of technical issues with the internet here in the Cinder Block Gym here in Roswell. Third shot good as well. All 3 free throws put down by Saraceno. And we're tied at 5 with 6:20 left first quarter. Inbound near side to Henderson. Throws it across to Pena. Crossover to the free throw line. He gets triple team, got the ball stripped from behind. That'll be the Eagles' second turnover, taken away by Martinez. Comes down the lane and gets it off with a tip by Saraceno, left side, no good. Long rebound for Pena up the near right side. He throws it down court, trying to get Henderson picked away again for Roswell by McCaskill. 3 Eagle turnovers. Sets it up top. 3 on the way for Carrasco, wide open as he nails it through, then points at his bench. As Roswell's up 8-5, their biggest lead here is 3 here in the first. Inbound to Soria in the right corner. Tries to throw it over the cross court left, over the head of Vega, but it was touched by Roswell off the hands of Jalen Cloud. Vega took a tumble to the floor. Nice sportsmanship by Cloud to help him up after that. Still Hobbs Eagle basketball in the backcourt. Have a little bit of trouble with that Roswell trap right now.
Yeah, and we knew that both sides would be intense. We didn't think that Roswell would just lay it down. They definitely want to get this victory just as much as Hobbs does.
Payne will take his time as he gets across the time stripe after the inbound, as he goes up against the defense of Cloud. Unloads the Soria left wing. Bounce pass low to Turbiatis, who's getting held underneath. And they got the hold by the Coyotes, putting a grip on Turbiatis with Josh Martinez, his first team foul against the Coyotes. Eagle basketball on the left baseline. They trail by 3. Inbounding will be Vega. Eagles going to spread it out, get a couple of guys in the corners. Pena left and Soria right. Turbiatis top of the circle. Bounce pass backdoor. Soria breaks free, goes up strong on the right glass and puts it through. His first bucket of the game. The freshman already on the scoreboard. It's now 8-7 Roswell. Long pass the other end. Carrasco reverse layup left. Air ball. Henderson rips it down on the right block or left block, looking for a pivot and a pass out to Pena. Already 3 boards for Henderson. Pena's driving through traffic to the front court. Gives it off to Vega. Wide open right corner. A swish on the 3. We got a foul underneath the hoop. I think they're going to go ahead and count the tray. They're going to have to meet as the official team here to make sure that shot was away before the foul underneath. And that should be a 3-point shot, a swish for Vega, deep right corner. As the officials have a discussion about it, they're going to see if they're going to count or not. Now all 3 are going to get together here. The Zebras talking about it. Very important to hopefully going to count this bucket. Yep, bucket's good for Vega. Wait to see who they get the foul on here. So already 2 trays in the game, Vega and Pena. Still trying to see an indication who the foul might be against. Looks like they have 54 on the scoreboard. That is Parker Henderson, so maybe a rebounding foul after the shot went through. That's his first. Already 3 team fouls against the Eagles, 1 for Roswell. 10-8, Hobbs by 2. Coaching staff for Roswell wanting to know why they're counting the basket. And one of the referees is telling Coach Dude Barola to back up to the sideline there. He came out about 2 or 3 steps onto the court, and now they're still going to go back and discuss if that three was counted or not. And it is.
Right. It happened. That happened after the shot was taken.
The foul did, yeah.
Yeah, the foul did, yes.
So we got it squared away, 10-8, Hobbs by 2.
Giving you an update from Hobbs real quick. 41-7, Hobbs is leading at the half over the Roswell Lady Coyotes.
Girls hoops opening district as well. Into the front court, stop and go dribble for Cloud. Hippity hop to the free throw line, tries to bounce it down the paint. Taken away by Vega. That's Roswell's first turnover. Goes back door to Turbiatis, misses the double clutch over the right rim, and ripped down for Roswell in transition up the near left sideline. First rebound from McCaskill. Bounce pass right base to Cloud. Cloud leans and shoots to the double clutch on the block, right side, no good. Off the rim, scramble for the ball on the free throw line as it rolls around. Bodies flopping on the floor. And diving on top of the basketball was Caceres, Jordan Caceres for the Eagles. He had his back on the ball, and now they're going to call the foul. Josh Martinez was underneath, and they call that on Martinez. So he already has 2 personals, second team foul. He's got both of the Roswell fouls, and Coach Barola has some words for the official on that one. Looked like a big scrum pile that time. Wasn't quite sure who had the advantage there, but a little bit of pro wrestling action going on.
Yeah, definitely wanted the ball, and both sides wanted it badly.
Vega inbounds in the near sideline to Turbiatis backcourt, back to Vega deep. One hands it across with a pass to Pena. He gets double teamed on the near sideline front court, back to Vega at the time stripe. Over to Caceres left corner. Jab step, spins, stays outside the perimeter. Deep pass back to Pena in the near right corner in front of the scores table at half court. Tries to go around his defender, got banged into. Ball comes out, McCaskill gets away with one there. Fourth Eagle turnover, goes back door, the scoop shot on the left side by Saraceno on the layup. He's got 5 points to lead the Coyotes. We are tied at 10, 4 minutes remaining here in the first. Pena breaks through the traffic, gets blocked as he comes up the near right sideline of the front court in front of the Roswell bench, throwing a forearm at him with Stephen McCaskill. That'll be his first, 3rd team foul against the Coyotes. So both teams racking up fouls early. Both have 3 with halfway through the first.
Yeah, a little sloppy play. They needed to clean it up. But, yeah, you pretty much expect this from both sides. They haven't played in a little while and definitely haven't played each other since a year.
Josiah Clay going to come inbound for the Eagle on the near side as he just checks in. Gets it back deep to Turbiatis. Has to leap for it at the timeline. Over to Vega, far left sideline. 3:55 left in the first. Eagles and Coyotes tied at 10. Gets a screen from Turbiatis, left corner dribble. Back door to Caceres with a lefty shot off the glass left side block and scores. First bucket for Caceres, already 5 scores for the Eagles, 12-10 lead. Long pass the other end, shot from the right corner, 18-footer swish as Saraceno went over the top of Caceres that time. He's hot now, he's got 7. We're tied at 12. Trap pressure, 2 on top of the Eagles deep in the right corner, Clay. He tries to jump in the air and pass, but he gets bumped into. They call the foul on the Coyotes. That's Saraceno's first, 14th foul. Now the official at the Roswell bench telling the team to sit down as they've been jumping up on every call here.
Yeah, Ronald Ross instructing his team to get back. They need to get a little help from those pressing times.
Clay gets the inbound deep right corner. He spins away from double team pressure, lofts a pass towards half court. It's loose, picked up by Vega, far left sideline. He'll bring it across, goes back door, alley-oop, and there's the man, big time. Turbiatis going up and putting off the glass right side. Beautiful pass there from Vega. Turbiatis on the scoreboard. Quickly down to the other end, to the right base to Ramos. Dumps it down the paint. Cloud goes reverse layup underneath the hoop, misses off the bottom of the rim. Rebound Henderson to throw it ahead. Back doors Vega with the scoop on the right side layup. Vega gets his first bucket, make it second. He's got 5. 16-12, Eagles' biggest lead is 4. Close one here in Roswell. First district game of the season. Into the front court after the pass to McCaskill. Taking on Turbiatis, top of the arc, stop and go. Jump stop in the right elbow, and they call the push foul on the Eagles. It looked like Clay was trying to help out Turbiatis on the free throw line with some double pressure there. And that will be on Clay, his first 14th foul. Already one away from the bonus, Ron. We're not even out of the first quarter yet.
Yeah, and Clay got caught in no man's land, was not aware that the action was going to come right to him. He couldn't do anything at all and just take the foul and hope for the best.
Inbound to the far right sideline, deep to the backcourt. Pulling it down is Jacob Palomino, who just checked in. He's going to take on Vega in the front side. Lofts a pass down right corner, fire away for 3 for Saraceno. Bounce to the rim a couple of times, chased down by Clay on the near sideline. That's his first rebound. Up ahead to Vega, misses the scoop on the right side layup. Caceres tries to go back up with it, rejected on the left block. On to the races comes Roswell. Coming down the left side of the lane is Palomino. We got a whistle underneath. And did somebody get a piece of the basketball that time?
No, they did, and it looks like it's going to be Hobbs' ball. It was out from Roswell.
It looked like Henderson might have got a piece of it and ricocheted off Roswell, so Eagle basketball. That will be a second Roswell turnover. Inbound to Clay, deep right corner, gets double teamed, gives it Caceres in the paint, returns to Clay. Cross court left, but way up in the air, stolen away by Roswell's Fuentes. He comes down the lane with the double clutch, count the basket over the rim and the foul. Eagles with their 5th turnover. Fuentes with a little head fake, got the defense up in the air. They're going to count his basket and call the foul on the Eagles, which will be charged to Braylon Vega, his first, and there is the double bonus here in the first quarter. 16-14, Hobbs still by 2, pending a free throw here from Fuentes.
And Hobbs needs to get out of the backcourt. They're having a little trouble with that pressure that Roswell is employing right now, and Hobbs just needs to get into it, be able to get everybody over there and get the ball out of the backcourt.
Free throw good for Fuentes. He's got 3. There's been 4 scores for Roswell. Vega gets it into Pena, who gets hit in the face as he caught the ball. His defender kind of lost his balance, ran right into him, deep right corner of the backcourt. Jacob Palomino, his first, 15 foul. So Hobbs is going to march to the other end and get a chance for some free throws here. The double bonus with 2:10 left in the first. And this is like it might be a little bit of a track meet going all the way to the end here, Ron.
Yeah, and that's what happened the last several years that we were here. Palomino is another one of those players you got to watch out for. He is aggressive, but he does make things happen for Roswell in the good way.
First free throw is up and good. Count the free throw there as Pena came in at 70% this season from the charity stripe. He will get 1 more. Second shot for Pena is bouncing around the rim and falls through. Counted both of them for Pena. He has 5 points in the scorebooks right now. There's a loose ball in the inbound on the near left side in the backcourt. Body sprawling forward. I think Roswell is going to get enough possession to get the timeout as getting a hand on the basketball and giving time for his coach to call it. Jacob Palomino near the Roswell bench. And they do get the timeout in time before a rip away by the Eagles. 2:04 left first quarter. Hobbs 18, Roswell 15. Come back with us in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back here to Roswell, the Hobbs Eagles and the Roswell Coyotes opening district. Hobbs on the road, of course. They will be at home Friday against Clovis, the number 9 team ranked in the Max Preps poll. Roswell at 21st, and the Eagles at 18. In the front court after the timeout for Roswell, dribbling and losing the ball near the timeline, stripped by Saraceno, the one with the dribbler, and that was Pena that took it away from him. But then he fumbles it at the other baseline and a turnover the other way. So both teams giving the ball up once on that possession. 6 turnovers for Hobbs, 3 for Roswell. Here come the Coyotes as the inbound coming into Saraceno across the timeline. Unloads to Fuentes right wing. Saraceno comes back to get it. Cross court left to McCaskill. Bounce it left baseline ahead of Palomino. Has to chase it down. Tips it out to Fuentes left corner. Fadeaway 3 off balance, no good. Tipped up over the front of the rim by Saraceno. That doesn't come even close to the rim. And pulled down by Vega. Tries to dribble in the front corner on the near right sideline. And looked like he got knocked out of his hands on the sideline. And they call it for Roswell. Coach Ross running to this table as well as Coach Reeves screaming at the officials here. They thought it was a clear tip out by Roswell, and they have come unglued. Officials trying to calm them down. They think a major miss on the tip out that time, and it's going to go to Roswell. So that will go down as another turnover for the Eagles, number 7. Coming across the timeline after the inbound, McCaskill gives it to the time stripe to Saraceno in the front court. Over to right side of Fuentes. Crossing it through his legs. The Eagles with an extended 2-3 zone. Over to right side to Fuentes for 3, and he swishes it. That's the second tray of the game for the Coyotes. They got Fuentes now with 6 points. Back to an 18-18 tie here in Roswell. 1:02 left first quarter. Vega throws a short pass, but it's still on the baseline. A hook shot by Saraceno, no good. Tip back up and in on the left side of the rim by Palomino. He's got 2 points. 20-18 Roswell. Turbiatis into the front court near side. Spins and gives it back deep to Pena. And Roswell really starting to pressure the basketball. Pena at the time stripe, comes right with it, a screen from Henderson, stop and go right base, fade away, 18-footer, swish it. Pena fading towards the right baseline and puts it through. He's got 7 to lead the Eagles. We're tied at 20. 30 seconds left the opening quarter. Across the timeline is Saraceno. Jump stop, top of the circle. Gives it off right to Fuentes. Again up top to Saraceno. Swing it left side to McCaskill. Dump it at the free throw line. The pivot by Ramos. Kick out right for a 3 for Fuentes out the back of the rim. Turbiates ripping it down underneath the hoop. His first rebound, but stolen in the lane. Taken away by Fuentes or Palomino. Shot taken. Loose off the rim, and Henderson comes up for the Eagles. Throws it up ahead to Turbiates, double clutch underneath the hoop, put his head up in the air first, got the defender over his back, and then throws it through the hoop for 2, and then the buzzer. The Eagles get the last bucket from Turbiates. So kind of a fast and furious first quarter. 22-20, your Eagles lead Roswell. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We head to the second quarter here in Roswell. Game 1 of the district schedule for the Hobbs Eagles, who lead 22-20 heading into the second. They're out rebounding Roswell 10-5, but have 8 turnovers, 3 for Roswell. Coyotes are perfect on the line, 4 for 4. Hobbs at 2 for 2 on the charity stripe. And one thing Coach Barola talked about as they came into this game, they need to block out the bigs for the Hobbs Eagles. So far, Hobbs is getting the better advantage on the boards, and a 2-point lead as well. Roswell with the basketball on a slide and fumbling the basketball and then getting a travel was Jacob Palomino. Might have hit a wet spot on that far right sideline of the front court, fell down. Referee gets him, I guess he said his foot touched the line first on that sideline. That will be 4th turnover for Roswell. Not a good way to start the second quarter.
No, it isn't, but Hobbs, they needed the possession to get back into this game and try to get some offensive momentum going.
Coming across the time stripe with the dribble is Pena. One-handed. Turbiates wasn't ready. Ricochets off his chest and taken away by Cloud. Turnover number 9 for the Eagles. Hippity hop down the lane. Tries a double clutch around the right side of the rim. No good. Rejected by Pena. He gets the ball ripped out of his hands and fouled as he got double teamed by Stephen McCaskill and Jalen Cloud. And that'll be the foul on the Coyotes. Coach Barola is losing a gasket here as he's not a happy camper about that foul call. McCaskill has his second personal. First team foul. Both teams were in the double bonus in the first quarter. Of course, we're at 0, now 1-0 in terms of foul count with the new rule in play. The inbound to Pena on the near side. Cross court left to Caceres. Takes a few dribbles back to the right, gives to Pena. He'll come up the near right sideline. One hands it across to Vega. Left perimeter, goes to the rack with it with a scoop. No good off the left rim. Henderson with a fadeaway on the rebound. Can't get it to drop. Another time. This one bounces around the rim and drops in finally. Henderson with 4 points and 6 boards. 24-20. Eagles have their biggest lead at 4. Into the front court to the right wing, slowing it down now McCaskill. Bounce pass right corner to Carrasco. Fadeaway 3 and off the front of the rim, no good. Underneath the hoop, pulling it down for Roswell with Saraceno. Out to the left wing. Fuentes throws a 3 off the back iron. And there's Henderson, big rebound for the Eagles. He's got 7 boards. Into the front court to Pena. The ball goes off his fingertips, high in the air and out of bounds on the far sideline left. And that'll be another Eagle turnover. They're already in double digits, 10 at this point. Definitely got to clean those up. They came in averaging 17.8 turnovers a ball game. The coach for Roswell, Coach Barola, has been warned officially in the books, and they've told him to quiet down here. They went and stopped the action, and the official made a major announcement there to make sure everybody heard that one. Eagles going to go to their bench while the stoppage here. Braddock Beatty checking in. Again, bear with us on the radio. We're having some internet issues. Roswell basketball as coming across the timeline with the bounce pass up top to Carrasco. Gets a screen, dribbles the right elbow, kick out right to Fuentes. Hippity hop down the lane, tries to throw it back. They're going to say he shuffled his feet first. That's going to sail in the backcourt, but a travel first for the Coyotes, their 5th turnover. Coach Barolo goes to his bench and brings in Kyle Mosqueda. No O on the end of that name. 24-20, 4-point Eagle lead with 6:37 remaining here in the second. Very close ball game so far. So far, nobody. All right, 1 bucket score for the Eagles, Parker Henderson. Eagles in the front court. Pady with the jump stop on the left wing, up top to Henderson. He's going to spot up a 3. Rainbow jumper off the back of the rim. We got a crash and burn underneath on the rebounds.
Yeah, as, 2 Roswell Coyotes hitting the floor.
It looks like the rebound going to go with the Carrasco. We'll see with the foul. 2 of them. Yeah, it looked like bowling pins being knocked over that time. They called the body foul on the Eagles. Apparently on the Eagles. Waiting to see who this is against. They say 34. Oh, Justin French just checked in. I was wondering who that was. Yeah, French seeing his first action. That first team foul on the Eagles and the first on Mr. French, who's come in because of all the injuries and illnesses. Pass down to the right corner for Carrasco. Fadeaway 3's missed 2 in a row. Pena rebounds on the right block. That's his 2nd board. Dribbles across the timeline near side. Stop and go to the free throw line. Trying to shoot. Got it ripped out of his hands first. Pulled down by Carrasco. Sends it ahead to a breaking Cloud. Lays it up on the right side. No good. Tipped up. Again, double clutch left by McCaskill of the rim. And they call the foul. So McCaskill gets a couple of tips on that one, the best he could, but got pushed out of the way at the last second. They call the foul as they'll get this one on the Eagles. Charged to Justin French, I believe. Yep, back-to-back fouls on him, unfortunately. 2nd team foul. Of course, French moved up from the JV. That'll put McCaskill on the line. Roswell perfect, 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. McCaskill trying to get in the books here with his first point.
You know, that means that Hobbs has got some players that have not been as used to each other, so they're trying to learn as they go. So basically just trying to learn on the run, so to speak.
Heck, they've already learned one big thing right here is Roswell can hit free throws. Perfect, 5 for 5 from the charity stripe and get the game to a 24-21 margin. Down by 3, 1 more pending free throw for McCaskill. One of their top scorers this season. Kind of a slow start for him, though. But he does have 3 boards. 2nd free throw's a swish. He's got 2 points off the line. It's 24-22. It quickly inbound to Pena. Gives it over to the far side to Soria in the backcourt, who just checked in. Returns to Pena, guarded closely by Mosqueda. Stop and go, dribbles through 2 defenders, unloads the right side. And kind of juggling for a minute was French. Bad pass back to half court, picked away by Saraceno. Layup on the left side, reverse, score it. He's got 9. That was the Eagles' 11th turnover. And a timeout on the court. Eagles want to talk about it. A little bit tentative on the perimeter passing game. That cost him on that last one for a turnover. 5:36 left, 2nd quarter. We're tied at 24. Roswell hosting your Hobbs Eagles. Back in 30 seconds on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Welcome back to 2nd quarter action here in Roswell. Ty friend Ron Gunner, Evie Stuber back at the station tonight as your Hobbs Eagles opening district with the Coyotes tied at 24. Also the Hobbs Lady Eagles in action at Tasker. We'll try to get a score update on that one here in just a minute. Of course, Friday the Eagles will be at home against Clovis and the Lady Eagles on the road at Clovis. So quick, fast, furious start to the district schedule here after some big, long games taking place. 3 tournaments for the Hobbs Eagles leading up to this big matchup here. A clean slate for both Hobbs and Roswell in this one. Eagles winning both of them last year. Double digits in game 1 and only 2 in game 2. And a bad inbound from the baseline already after the timeout. Driving to the hoop from the left side, Jalen Cloud. And a foul. That's the 12th Eagle turnover. Coach Ross was livid after that. They just talked about the play call there, and then it gets a steal in the backcourt. They call the foul on the Eagles. And I hope they didn't call that. I thought that was Justin French again. He took a seat during the timeout. That was Lyric Soria, who's just picked up his 3rd personal, 3rd team foul on the Eagles. Roswell ball on the left baseline, inbound left wing, 3 on the way for Saraceno. Clinks off the front of the rim, chased down by Henderson on the right baseline. His 8th rebound. Outlet up court to Turbiatas, stop and go on the near right sideline. Returns back to Pena at the time stripe. 5:18 left to the half. To Vega, left side, NBA three, in and out, no good. Rebound on the left block, pulled down by Roswell. Carrasco with it. Dribbles into the front court, down the lane, reverse right, rejected from behind by Pena. Beautiful swat on the basketball, and he kept his feet flat, Ron. Sometimes if you jump into that block, you're going to get the foul.
Yeah, and you got to do that. You got to, fundamentals, once again, I always harp on those. You got to be able to get those right, and you make less mistakes if you keep with your fundamentals.
Side Carrasco on the left baseline, underneath the Roswell hoop, inbound to the left wing to Saraceno. Up top, slowing it down, McCaskill. Fade away from the left elbow off the dribble. Barely hits the rim and drops short. Vega will take the rebound, his second. Gets stripped in the backcourt near the free throw line. The ball rolls out on the far left sideline. I think they're going to say it went off of Vega, I guess. Kyle Mosquito was clapping at Vega, getting close to a taunting there, but that will be an Eagle turnover, their 13th. Coach Ross puts Vega down for a little breather there and brings back Caceres. Kind of sent a message that we got to take care of the basketball, especially after a timeout where we just talked about it. Exactly. We're still tied at 24 with 4:57 left second. Game getting a little bit more sloppy as we move along here. The inbound near the timeline to Cloud on the far right sideline. Going to dribble through his legs against Pena. Threads it down to the right block and waiting for the ball. McCaskill tried to put his head down and go up, and over the top of him was Parker Henderson. I'm not quite sure if he had any shooting motion on that. He's kind of flat his back. Kind of look parallel to the floor that time, and Coach Barola wants a shooting foul, but they're going to call it on Henderson regardless. His second, 14th foul. Coach Barola is screaming at the official. Wanted his kid to shoot on that one. Carrasco on the right base, dumps it into the right block again to McCaskill. Double clutch this time, knocked to the floor, no call. Henderson rips it down on the rebound. That's his 9th board. Ball thrown down the court to Beatty on the right base. Tries to go up and gets stripped in the air by Carrasco. An outlet to the far sidelines. Turnover for the Eagles, number 14. To the right wing, front court to Saraceno. Hands off behind to McCaskill. He'll back it out. Bounce one-hander to Mosquito on the right wing. Stop and go towards the rack. Tries to get Henderson up, leans into him and shoots. Ball loose, picked up by Beatty for the Eagles. He can't hang on to it, stripped away by Mosquito. That's a turnover for the Eagles. Hands it off up top to reset the O to Cloud. Goes back door, the layup on the right side put through by Kyle Mosquito. His first bucket. 26-24 Roswell, 4:01 left here in the second. Trap pressure, 2-1-2, full court. Payne will weave his way through it, comes down the lane, high arching scoop shot, and they're going to call the charge. The defender got up in the lane that time, put a knee up, it appeared, Ryland Saraceno. They call the foul on Pena on the charge. That will be an Eagles 16th turnover. Foul on Pena, his first and the 15th foul, Ron, with 3:53 left in the first half. That means double bonus for Roswell.
Exactly, and the bad news is nothing is going right this quarter for Hobbs. The good news is they're only down by 2. They still have a shot to get back in this game with 3:53 in this second.
Boy, not a lot of scoring going on in this quarter. Only 2 points for the Eagles and 6 for Roswell. 3:47 left second. A 2-point Roswell lead. Top of the arc. McCaskill in the front court. Stop and go. Spin in the lane. Tries to turn and fire. They're going to say Henderson got an initial block and then came down. Coach Ross out on the court. They have to usher him back to the sideline. And the Henderson not liking the call either. He did get a good initial block on that one, Ron, but I think he might have come down a little bit too much toward the face or the arm that time.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's all about perception at times, and other times it's all about where your body is. You just got to be very patient. Can't get up off your feet and come down again because you're probably going to get a foul, and that's pretty much what happened against Hobbs.
He's already 6'11". I mean, get that extended wingspan up there. You should be okay. Stephen McCaskill, perfect 2 for 2, 5 or 6 for 6 as a team Roswell is right now. And the first free throw, a swish, put through by McCaskill. He's perfect 3 for 3. Take a 3-point lead for Roswell, matching their biggest of the first half. 27-24. One more shot for McCaskill. Taking his time here, and the free throw is up, and some reverse spin on that one. Comes off the front of the rim, no good. First miss of the game, rebound for Turbiatis, his second. Outlet to the timeline to Caceres, jump stop across. Bounce pass over to Turbiatis on the right wing. Coach Ross called a timeout as the pass got to Turbiatis in front of the Roswell bench. We'll keep it right here in Roswell. And Ron, tell us about the sponsors that bring Hobbs Eagle basketball to the radio and the internet.
Yes, always proud to hear from First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Elite Home Healthcare, Lee County State Bank, Lasco Construction, The Coffee House, Devon Energy, TDS, Thriftway, NMR Pipeline, The Model, Emerson Media and Design, Hydrotech Services, and Divine Energy Services. Thank you all very much for your support. Without you guys, we wouldn't be on the air.
Ron, Coach Ross has called a couple of timeouts here in the second quarter. What do you think he's stressing to the Eagles right now?
I think right now he's talking about the fact that, look, we're not playing Hobbs basketball. They're getting us trapped, and we're causing some problems. We're getting turnovers that we shouldn't be doing. We need to clean up this, get the turnovers down to nothing, and be able to get into our front court to be able to get some points that we desperately need.
Yeah, 16 Eagle turnovers, 5 for Roswell. Definitely been a big difference in this game. The inbound towards the time stripe for the Eagles. Pass over to Caceres on the left wing. Back to the timeline to Pena. Down the near side. He turns to Caceres left side as he pivots. Uses up his dribble and back to Pena on the far left wing. To Caceres in the left corner. Going to spot up a tray. It swishes it through. The junior nails one. Third tray of the game for the Eagles. Caceres now with 5 points. Hobbs tied it up at 27. 3:05 left first half. Into the front court. On the right wing is Cloud. Down the lane, hippity hop. Goes the rack. Scoop shot and score off the right side. Cloud with his first bucket. 29-27 Roswell. Pena going to go through 2 defenders into the front court. One hand to Vega the right wing. To Caceres corner right. Return up top to Pena. Trying to see some motion on the offense now as he backs it out to the big R in the middle of the court. Slings it over to Caceres, drives baseline, double team, bounce pass to Turbiatis left wing. Up top to Pena, spots a 3 as he shifted right. Throw it up for Trey and put it through the hole. Big time shot for Pena. He's got 2 trays and 10 points to lead the Eagles. 30-29. Coming across the timeline with the Eagles up by 1. In the hands of Cloud with the bounce on the top of the arc to McCaskill. Guarded by Turbiatis. Uses the screen from Saraceno. Comes down the lane. Double clutch right block. Tried to defend from behind. Vega on the double team. Got a piece of the ball that might have come down on top of him that time. But I think they got somebody else on the foul. We'll wait and see. Maybe a Turbiatis that time. And that will be a chance for a 3-point play as it did go through the rack.
His first.
And both teams are running to the sidelines for some reason. I don't know what this is all about. Hobbs, Coach Ross pulled all 5 of his kids to the sideline. Coach Barola doing the same thing except the free throw shooter. And that will put McCaskill up. He's got 5 points. They call that on Turbiatis, his first. Already a double bonus the rest of the half for Roswell. As McCaskill now is going to try to make it 6 points on the night. He missed the last free throw, the first miss of the game for Roswell. He's 3 for 4. And now they... chance to put another one on the scoreboard is up, and it is a swish. He's got 6 points. Eagles are down by 2, 32-30. Here comes Pena across the timeline with 2:08 left in the half as he'll be taken on defense by Cloud. Unloads to Caceres on the right wing. Some tough pressure being applied. Spin move to the right to against Saraceno. Over to Turbiatis in the left side perimeter. To the free throw line off the dribble. Handoff up top to Caceres. Back to Turbiatis right side. Backs into his defender. Spin, fade away from the right elbow and nails it. Beautiful J. Got the follow through 2 for Turbiatis. He's got 6. We're tied at 32. The track meet continues. In the front court, Cloud on the left wing. Slides through traffic, trying to go through 2 defenders. They call the foul. Coach Ross is wondering what his defense is supposed to do on that one as they were kind of just coming together that time. They call the block foul as they'll get that one on Caceres, his first. That's the 17th foul. Already had bonus a couple of fouls back, which will put on the line Cloud for the first time.
Yeah, and Hobbs nowhere near bonus. They've only got 1 against Roswell right now, and 1:39 remaining. It doesn't look like they're going to get any double bonus in this quarter.
Roswell 8 of 9 from the line, and Hobbs 2 for 2. Waiting for that shot for Cloud. He does have 1 bucket so far here in the second, and then throws a brick off the back of the rim. No good. He'll get 1 more, though. Trying to break the 32-all tie. Again, the Eagles 2-0 against the Coyotes last year in the regular season.
Looks like he's got a bandage on his nose. Not sure if that's going to be hindering him or not, but definitely would impede my view a little bit.
Second shot off the back of the rim, misses both of them. Rebound in the middle of the paint by Vega, his 3rd rebound. Outlet near side to Pena, backcourt. Boy, Cloud ran into him, no call. Backdoor to Turbiatis, has to save it. Over to the left corner to Pena, fakes an 18-footer and then gets bodied into before going to the rack with it. Call that on Kyle Mosqueda, his first, 2nd team foul. Foul count now 5-2 in favor of Roswell. Eagles will have it on the left baseline facing their hoop. Again, getting close to half here. You can imagine all the strategy talk at halftime. Who's going to get over the hump of this tie ball game? Still some chances to get some leads here. Finish up the second quarter. Vega on the left base. Official gives it to him and give it out to Turbiatis left wing. Returns deep to Pena. Over to Vega left side. Takes to a dribble to the free throw line, tries to go back door, slings it down, it's deflected right to Turbiatis, who lays it in on the left side. He's starting to get a rhythm going. He's got 8 points. 34-32 Eagles. Roswell in the front court quickly. McCaskill with the dribble. Top of the circle, taking on Turbiatis. Stop and go behind his back on the right wing. Handed off behind to Cloud. On the far right sideline with 1 minute. Gets a screen there by Carrasco, continues to the corner, backs out of it, returns up top to McCaskill. Dump it down the lane to right block to Carrasco, leads and shoots with the one hand, shot puts it over the right rim, it scores. Carrasco with 5. 34 all. Here come the Eagles. Pena trying to drive through traffic in the front court. Over to the right side. Stop and go for the Eagles to the rack, and they call the fouls, taken off with it that time. And a chance for Amron Wheeler was the guy that went to the hole with it. They got a body against him as he goes up towards the hole that time. They get the foul call on Rylan Sorosino, his second, 13th foul. So Amron Wheeler, one of the guys that got moved up from JV tonight with everybody down, it seems like. Malachi David is out. Nick Pena's out. Javen Hernandez is out. By the way, Wheeler is a relative of Javen Hernandez. Free throw up and good. Swish it. Great way to come on the court, getting a point for your Hobbs Eagles. And get the breakage of the tie there, 35-34. Lots of guys having to step into some big roles tonight, Ron.
Exactly, and one more foul, and Hobbs is in bonus, although it is 43.8, little short, but still better late than never.
Second free throw for Wheeler. Big time scoring for him now. 2 points, 36-34. Hobbs by 2 with 40 seconds remaining in the half. Slowing it down on the offense now is Cloud as he comes across the timeline against Pena. Uses up the dribble. Bounce pass left wing to McCaskill. Turbiatis slides left, and he spins back to the top of the arc, continues down the right side of the lane, 1-2 and up, and rejected. Boy, Wheeler going to play some D. Turbiatis kind of got hunched over, and Wheeler swats the shot from behind out to the baseline. This kid's saying, hey, coach, I'm varsity material here. Going to be an inbound from the right base underneath the hoop for Roswell. Carrasco gets it into McCaskill. That's a reach for it. Spins in the paint, comes out of it, and throws it back deep to the timeline to Cloud. 18 seconds remaining, and Coach Barola is saying, hold on for the last shot. Cloud bounces it to the left side to McCaskill. Well outside the perimeter with 10 seconds. Crossover to the left elbow, continues down the left lane, jump stop, left block. Fadeaway jumper off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound Turbiatis, looking ahead, but throws it right to the timeline. Stolen by Saraceno. 3 shot at the buzzer from the right side, off the back of the rim, no good. So Eagles unfortunately ended a turnover, but some good play coming off the bench for Amron Wheeler. A couple of free throws and a block shot. Your Hobbs Eagles lead by the deuce, 36-34 over Roswell. We'll be back in 3 minutes of the Hobbs Eagle halftime show live on Cool 95.7 on the radio, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7's Facebook page on the internet. Welcome back to halftime here in Roswell. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and Evie Stuber with you back at the station. Your Hobbs Eagles lead at the half, this first district game of the season, 36-34, a 2-point lead. And if you take a look at this game, I mean, kind of a seesaw battle, lots of leads, lots of ties at various parts of these quarters. Hobbs only had a 2-point lead at the end of one, and both teams scoring 14 in the second stanza there. Hobbs getting a 2-point lead here at the half again, 36-34. And it kind of took a while, though, for Hobbs to get into some scoring. I think it was a 4-0 run to get going for Roswell, but very long, extended second quarter to try to get the offenses going. There were some turnovers, and that's really been an issue for Hobbs. 17 turnovers in the first half.
Yeah, and it looked a little anemic at first. In fact, we were wondering if Hobbs could even hit any scores at all. With the fact that they were getting trapped in the backcourt and the fact that they weren't getting too many shots in the front court, it just seemed like Hobbs was struggling to get any kind of offensive momentum going at all. But they did in the last 3 minutes. They also got close to getting into some bonus shots too, but unfortunately they did not get into the line as much as they'd like to. We wanted to see them improve their free throw shooting. However, you know, Roswell's doing really good on that. That's the reason why they're in this game so far with the free throw shooting. Also the defense. Hobbs needs to come out here, adjust their thinking about how they not only attack the defense but also the offense as well. Be able to get around that press that Roswell's using if they do that in the second half and be able to answer with some great shots. I'd like to see Vega light it up as well as Henderson.
Well, yeah, you look at last year's games with the two teams, Hobbs winning by 11 in game one and 4 in game two. Really, the real knotted up quarter was the fourth. Both teams getting 37 combined in those two games. So that was where all the major back and forth action was happening. Hobbs was actually dominating last year in the first quarter, 49-29, a 20-point differential there. And then Roswell would take a better situation in the third quarter, outscoring Hobbs 42-31. But right now, it's very close regardless. New season with a 2-point Eagle lead. Let's look at the points in the first half. First of all, Roswell getting close to a double-digit score in Ryland Saraceno. He's got 9 points, 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. Also, 1 rebound to his name. Couple of Sixers, too. Stephen McCaskill, he's almost perfect from the line at this point. 4 of 5 from the charity stripe. That's a majority of his points. Also, another bucket, all coming in the second quarter, again for 6. Also has 3 rebounds to lead the Coyotes. Manny Fuentes, he had 6 points coming off the bench. He had a tray and 1 for 1 on a free throw as well on an and 1 situation. Then after that, you got Zai Carrasco, who started the game with a tray, another bucket, and has 5 points. Lots of guys with 2 apiece. Kyle Mosqueda coming off the bench. Jalen Cloud, a starter. He was 2 points, 0 for 2 on the line and a rebound. Josh Martinez hit a bucket for 2 as well. So far in this game, 8 scorers for Roswell. They are 8 of 11 from the charity stripe at 72%. They've been rebounded pretty badly by the Eagles, 20-9, but a lot of their first shots and then a foul was called, then they go and get some free throws out of it. So that kind of buffered up the rebound situation at that point. They do only have 5 turnovers too. Lots more for the Eagles with 17. That's got to get cleaned up in the second half. Hobbs does have 1 scored in double figures. Abraham Pena, he has 10 points, including 2 trays. 7 of those 10, though, in the first quarter, and he's 2 for 2 on the line with 2 rebounds. Jairus Turbiatis with 8 points. I like what I'm seeing with his rebounding, getting off the floor, definitely moving the ball up the court. He's got 3 boards to help the cause up for the Eagles. Jordan Caceres coming off the bench at the guard position has 5 points, including a tray and a rebound. Braylon Vega has a tray and 5 points total with 3 boards. It's Parker Henderson, a big time on the glass tonight. He's got 9 rebounds and 4 points. And Lyric Soria got a start tonight as a freshman. He had a bucket for 2. And we're seeing some good stuff from Amron Wheeler as well. He came in with a couple of free throws after a drive to the hoop and also had a block shot on defense. So he's getting some action as a JV player tonight, first time in a varsity uniform. The Eagles did out-rebound, as we mentioned earlier, Roswell 20-9, and it was Henderson with the 9 to lead the Eagles, 3 apiece for Vega and Turbiatis. Hobbs only getting 2 free throw attempts in the first half, both from Pena. He's perfect, 2 for 2. And again, 17 turnovers compared to 5. Definitely a major situation going on so far. But right there you have it. There is some foul trouble already for the Eagles. We should mention that as well. Lyric Soria, he's got 3, and Parker Henderson with 3. And for Roswell, they got 3 guys with 2 apiece, McCaskill, Martinez, and Saraceno. Ron, if you had to pick for some keys for the second half for the Eagles to put this into a W column here, what do you think they got to do better, and what do you think they got to capitalize on in the second half?
they definitely got to capitalize on those turnovers against Roswell, and they also need to get past that press that Roswell has been employing from the backcourt. Need to get around that somehow, be able to work as a team. I know it's difficult at times when you've got some extra players that have not worked with you all throughout the season. However, you got to pretty much learn on the run and hit the ground running, so to speak, and get into this game, be able to see when your teammate is in trouble and try to get them out of there. That's the main thing right there. They've been having too many times when they're trying to get the ball out and they slip, end up turning the ball over. Roswell gets a quick 2-point shot and keeps them in the game, if not gets them in the lead.
And Rare, the problem has been is the deep back corners of the backcourt. Guy getting a head down, guy trying to dribble. You got two guys converging on him defensively, and then you try to throw a helium pass towards half court. You got to get your teammates coming back to help on those. I mean, it's easier said than done.
Right.
But as a teammate that's down the court, you can't sit there and wait for that press or the trap to converge on the dribbler in the corners and then decide a few seconds later, I think I'll go back and help now. By that time, it's too late. You got to second guess it. You got to come up and cheat a little bit up to help out in case he's got to unload the ball quick. Instead of just kind of throwing it up in the air, which has caused about 3 turnovers at half court.
At least.
Where Roswell just put up the catcher's mitt and just let it come down to the glove and go with it. Well, 2:15 left before the start of the second half. 36-34, your Hobbs Eagles with an 0-0 record taking on Roswell to open up district. We'll be back in 2 minutes to get your second half started on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We start the second half here in Roswell. The Eagles will play the offense to get it going here in the third. They lead by 2, 36-34. Pena slices it down low. Turnaround hook for Henderson off the right rim, no good. And ripped down for the rebound for Roswell by McCaskill, his 4th board. Dribbles into the front court, stop and go to the right side of the paint, backs it out to the wing. Gives it up top to Carrasco. Dump it to the left corner, driving baseline is Cloud. Returns to Carrasco on the left side perimeter. Comes down the lane, goes back door with a pass low to Martinez. Fadeaway jumper for the block, no good, right? Pulled down by Turbiatas to the free throw line, his 4th board. Up ahead to Vega, gets bodied, throws up a shot with his left hand, comes off the iron, and a rebound for Cloud, his 2nd. Into the front court, down the right side of the lane, leads and shoots over the rim, air ball. Henderson stepped up there that time to give him a little bit of a nerve, and that's a board for Turbiatas on the other base. He's got 5 rebounds. Outlet to the timeline to Pena. Trying to get some first scoring of this third quarter for either team. Over to Soria on the near side, the freshman. Stop and go dribble. Tries to bounce pass as he comes up the left side, and the ball gets knocked off the leg of Carrasco. Soria took a spill. Looked like he got bodied into, but they're going to just say out of bounds. Eagle basketball. Pena will get the inbound right in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench, leading by 2, 36-34. 7 minutes left, third quarter. Payne looking for somebody to get open. Throws it up top to Turbiatis. Hand off to Soria around the right circle. Backs it out to the half sideline. Returns to Payne at the timeline. Slides left with the dribble. Right near the Hobbs Eagle bench. Wait for a screen from Turbiatis up top. Takes it. Comes down the lane. Over to Soria, right corner for 3. Rainbow jumper in and out. No good. But tipped back up with 2 hands by Pena off the left glass. Right in the right place at the right time is Pena. 12 points and 3 rebounds. 38-34, matching their biggest lead 4. Up the near sideline, dribbling through traffic, Saraceno. Fade away in the paint, no good. Puts it back up on the right block and scores. 11 points for Saraceno, second rebound. 38-36, Eagles by 2. Payne now with the ball on the near side after a pass from Vega. Taking on 3 defenders, slings it over to Soria, left wing, front court. Posting up Henderson with a high pass in the paint. He has to save it, but right back to Roswell in the lane. McCaskill takes it away. 18 turnover. Up ahead to a breaking Cloud on the righty layup. Henderson tried to swat but missed. 4 points for Cloud. 38-38. Here comes Soria now in the front court. He's going to slow it down on the left wing. Back deep to Pena behind him on the near side. Stop and go. Crossover move. Left elbow to the free throw line. Fade away. Jay is in and out. No good. Underneath this Henderson right block. Tries to go up strong. And they're going to call the travel. He shuffled his feet. Coach Ross wants a call. He was right between 2 defenders that time and kind of a low shot there. A rebound for Henderson. That's 10 in the game, but then a travel for turnover number 19. The big kid working hard underneath, just trying to get the touch, going up, using those biceps to pull that ball up and take some guys up with him. 5:45 remaining third, tied up at 38. And we got a bad pass on the inbound from the baseline. Sails to the far left sideline, out for the turnover. Roswell, this their 6th in the ball game, though. Eagle ball.
Yeah, it's going to be sloppy for a little while. At third quarter, not going for either side the way they want to, but still a very tight contest so far.
Yeah, third quarter was the best for Roswell last year, outscoring the Eagles in 2 games, 42-31, plus 11. Fourth was knotted up at 37. Payne gets the inbound at the timeline, is going to put on the brakes and wait. Coming out on him on D is Cloud. Dribbles to his legs near the big R in the middle of the court. Over to Vega left wing. NBA 3 on the way off the back of the rim. Pulled down in the left elbow by Cloud, his 3rd rebound. Dribbles into the front court, far left sideline. To the perimeter, getting a screen. Doesn't use it, stays out there. Instead, returns it up top to McCaskill. Hippity hop down the lane. Takes a few travel steps. Then they call the charge. Thought they might give him a travel violation there, but instead runs over Turbiatis. And that will be great job for Turbiatis to step up and help out that time. 3rd foul on McCaskill, and the first team foul on Roswell here in the 3rd. 5:15 remaining, 38 all. Soria bring it across up top to Pena, down the lane, handoff on the left block to Turbiatis. Fade shot counted as it rolls off the left rim into the hole, and a chance for a 3-point play on the foul call. Turbiatis with 10 points. They get the foul against the Coyotes, and that will be up to Josh Martinez's 3rd personal, 2nd team foul. And Coach Barola screaming at the official who made the call.
Yeah, and Turbiatis had to get that nice touch. It rolled in. He had to get it just right, and he did. Plus, he drew the foul.
Turbiatis shooting 64% this season. Hits the front of the rim. No good. He does have 10 points and 5 boards. As the ball pulled down by McCaskill, his 5th rebound. Into the front court. Cloud will get the pass. Bounce it off to the right wing on the bouncer to Martinez. Spin to the right block. Kicks it out right baseline to Carrasco. He zigzag back up top. Unloads to McCaskill to the free throw line off the dribble. Returns to Carrasco on the right wing. Down the lane quickly to the rack of the first step and lays it on the right side. Untouched to the hole that time. Carrasco with 7. 40-40 your score. Track meet continues and continues in this big matchup in Roswell. Down low to Henderson at the right block from Pena. He gets sandwiched through 3 defenders that time. I think one of the Roswell guys must have touched it, but kind of close on that one. They continue to battle. They're giving up about 6-7 inches to the big kid, but he is not giving up underneath with a bunch of coyotes biting at his heels. Going to be inbounded by Vega on the right base underneath the Eagles hoop. Give it in back to Henderson again. Turn and fire the J. An air ball over the rim. Pulled down underneath by Carrasco, his 3rd rebound. Does it ahead to a breaking Saraceno. Double clutch on the left glass. They call the block foul as Soria tried to step up and take the charge that time. Coach Barola wants to count the basket. We're going to see if they're going to count it. Nope, they're going to say 2 shots. And Coach Barola now asking the official that called it to check with the other refs to see if that should count or not.
I thought, if anything, it might have been a goaltending, but I don't think even that was the case. I thought it was going up, not going down.
Yeah, that might be what Barola is arguing, is that ball was touches were coming to the rim. You might have a point there. Fourth foul called on Soria, though. That'll be the third team foul on the Eagles here in the third quarter. 2 shots going to be for Saraceno, and in and out, no good on the first one. He's now 3 of 4. That was his first miss. And Roswell drops to 8 and 12 on the charity stripe.
Yeah, had a whole lot of spin action on that one. In fact, actually, it kind of spun out of the cylinder. It looked like it could have dropped, but just too much action and went right out.
Yeah, they just dropped to 66% on the free throw line. Second shot's a clinker off the front of the rim, no good. Chased down by Turbiatis. He gets bodied out of bounds by the hips that time, and he falls face first into the hardwood. Martinez going to pick up his 4th personal after Turbiatis ripped down his 6th rebound.
Yeah, Turbiatis had nowhere to go but down. He knew that was going to happen, so he went ahead and got the ball possession, hoping to get the foul, and he got the call. So that helped out, and Hobbs retains with the possession.
Before the Eagle inbound from the baseline, Coach Barola barely got a sub in for Martinez with those 4 fouls. Inbound to the far side of Casares. Gets it across to Pena, right wing, down low to Henderson. Fumbled the ball in the lane, taken away on the baseline by Carrasco. The Eagles' 20th turnover. Into the front court, driving up the near sideline is Sorrentino on the right. Crossover move to the right block, leans and shoots. They're going to call the body on Turbiatis. Not quite set in the stance he wanted to be on that block. So Turbiatis gets his second, not a shooting foul though. 14 foul though, Ron, 1 away from the double bonus.
Yeah, and Hobbs does not want that to, actually no, Hobbs does want that to happen. Coyotes, of course, do not. Hobbs would be great if they get on the line, get some extra points, and be able to make this a little bit further of a game than what they've got right now.
Carrasco right of the rim here on the baseline inbound. Going to throw it in for the Coyotes. Throws it back deep to McCaskill. Touch pass right side of Cloud in front of the Roswell bench. He wants to see some rotations. Ball gets loose at the timeline, stripped by Payne in the backcourt, but Cloud recovers. He falls to the floor, still loose, and Saraceno recovers again. Into the front court, tries to come across, and Pena tries to strip from behind, and he does a big head fake there. I think he might have sold that call a little bit. Pena's being quiet about it, but they're going to call the foul regardless, as they'll get that one on Abraham, his second, 15th foul, which is worse. Oh, there he got 3 up on the scoreboard, though.
And McCaskill could get a taunting if he keeps it up. He was doing a little extracurricular activity over there. I don't think the referee saw it, otherwise he may have been teed up.
Yeah, we've got 3 fouls for both teams, so maybe a little misstep on myself in the scorebook here. Inbound to the backcourt to Carrasco. Throws it to Clown and gets it back now on the front side left wing. Zings it down left corner, 3 for Saraceno, swishes. That's his first tray of the ball game. He's got 14 points for the Coyotes, and they lead by 3. Long pass to the other end, underneath to Wheeler. Goes up strong with the right hand, misses out the back of the rim. Trying to be saved by Turbiatis behind his back, but he hits behind the backboard and touches the support. That'll be out of bounds. Good attempt there for Turbiatis to come down with that one. 3:27 left, third quarter. Eagles down by 3. In the front court, Carrasco on the left wing. He's going to go in the lane with the dribble as he takes on Wheeler. Passed out of the right block, hippity hop there for McCaskill, and he is out of control and gets a little too much of a hippity and a hoppity there for the travel. That'll be Roswell's 7th turnover. Eagles were good, stout defense, flat-footed, waiting for that, coming at him that time. About 2 defenders could have got a charge out of it. 3:17 left, third quarter. Eagles basketball inbound to Vega, deep left corner, back to Caceres in the paint, backcourt. Throws it across to Pena, right side. Dribbles behind his back down the lane. No-look pass back door to Turbiatis on the alley-oop. They call the charge. As he went up in the air and dumped it back door, no looker. They said he went over the top of the defender and ran over the top of Palomino for the charge. So Pena has his 3rd personal, 14th foul, and the Eagles now at their 21st turnover. 43-40, Roswell been holding on to this lead for a few seconds now. They've had 6 points, Eagles with just 4 here in the third. In the front court, Cloud, stop and go to the baseline, fade away, 15-footer, bounce around the rim, no good. Pulled down to the right block, going up strong as Palomino gets chopped from behind, the foul. Ball drops short, but he has his 3rd rebound and a chance for a couple of free throws. Are they not going to call that a shooting foul, possibly?
No, he is going to the line.
Yep, he is starting to move over there. Eagles going to get some subs. Coach Ross goes to the bench. And looks like Caceres has returned. Also on the court, Braddock Beatty. Turbiatis will stay out there, as well as Wheeler. And 2 free throws now for Jacob Palomino, yet to be on the line tonight. First time, free throw up, and it is a hard one. Reverse spin on the basketball and brings it away from the rim. No good on the first one.
So whatever they had touch-wise for the line, Roswell has seemed to have lost it, and that's not a bad thing for Hobbs. They are still in this game with 3.
0 for 3 on the line since the halftime, and he misses another one, brick off the front of the rim. Pulled down by Wheeler for the Eagles, his first rebound. Send it ahead to Pena, shot from the right elbow, off the front of the rim, no good. Tipped up in the air, Beatty will come down with it in the paint, hand off to Turbiatis. Double clutch left glass, it gets the roll over the rim, count it. Turbiatis with 12 points, Beatty with the second rebound. 43-42, Roswell, long pass the other end, a layup is missed by Martinez. Rebound by Beatty into the front court. Back-to-back boards for him. Finds Payne in the left corner, his 3 off the back of the iron. Rebound Wheeler, try to come up with it, and they're going to say got knocked out of his hands and rolls out on the baseline. Roswell tried to save it. Wheeler doing a good job of going to the leather that time, and luckily got knocked out by the opponent. Beatty will inbound left baseline underneath the Eagles hoop as they trail by 1. Beatty going to send it back deep to Turbiatis, but a short pass. Cloud is going to pick it off. Turnover number 22. Goes underneath on the right side of the layup. Gets Turbiatis to go over his back and a foul. He kind of lunged to the basket to try to get the shooting foul call there, and I think he's going to get it. Yeah. Turbiatis has picked up his 3rd personal, and that's double bonus. They got 2:19 for chances of free throws here the rest of this quarter.
That's true, and Turbiatis was just caught off balance, but couldn't get in position in time and had to foul, or at least he thought he had to foul, so that way it wouldn't be an easy basket for Roswell.
Cloud 0 for 2 on the line so far tonight, and make it 1 of 3 as he makes his first. 5 points for Cloud and extends the lead to 2, 44-42. Close ball game here in Roswell to open up district. And what was that last Lady Eagles score you had, Ron?
It was 61-11, a blowout. Roswell never had a chance, and Hobbs just, of course, smothered them for their 15th in a row against the Lady Coyotes.
Is that in the books already? Done?
It is in the books.
Golly. 60-11. Good job for Coach Carpenter, 1-0 in district. Both free throws good for Cloud. He's got 6. 45-42, 3-point lead. Pass to half court to Pena. Stop and go dribble. Goes to the rack with 2 hands. Quick first step all the way to the hole and scores off the left glass. As Pena now extends to 12, make it 14 points. 45-44, Roswell by 1. 2:05 remaining here in the third. One-hand bounce pass from Cloud over to right wing to Palomino. Dribbles up top, zigzags back in the lane, backs into his defender. Beatty got away with the travel, gets it off to Fuentes right side, kick it over to right wing to Palomino. Up top to McCaskill, fake to 3, slings it over to left corner to Cloud. He'll hold it for a second against Pena, drives left baseline, turns and fires to the left block as he put on the brakes, no good. Put back up on the right block by Palomino, misses off the back of the rim. And there's Beatty getting chokehold now in the lane. They're going to call the foul as he came down with the rebound. And Beatty's coming off the bench with 3 rebounds in a row, Ron.
Exactly, and we need a little extra life from Beatty. So far he is providing it. That should actually be a 1, a 2 on the a bonus, but I guess not.
Palomino's second personal, 14 foul. Inbound to Beatty on the far right sideline. Dribbles cross court left, zigzags to the middle, and thins it across to Turbiatis. 3-on-3, comes down the lane left side with a scoop shot off the glass and scores. Turbiatis. He's got 6 in the third, 14 overall for the Eagles. Hobbs up by 1, first lead in the third quarter, 46-45. Cloud will come across, slowing it down with the bounce pass right wing to Carrasco. To his left hand, shot from the free throw, rejected by Wheeler that called the foul. He kind of jumps up and down after that. Better be careful, doesn't want to get the tee. That's a first on Wheeler. And that'll get 2 free throws for Carrasco. Yet to be on the line tonight, has 7 points. Clock stopped with 1:09 left, third quarter. Roswell getting 2 free throws here and put them back in the lead, or 1 to tie. First shot is up, and it is bouncing off the rim, and no good. They're having lots of trouble with free throws here in this third quarter. They've only made 2, and they've had a whole host of others that they've missed prior to that.
Yeah, they've left a lot of points on the floor, and Hobbs is very happy about that. Otherwise, it could be a huge deficit they'd have to get out of.
Yeah, I believe it's been 2 of 7 here in this third quarter. Second shot for Carrasco is off the back of the rim. Misses both of them. Pulled down underneath by Henderson, his 11th rebound. Outlet across the Tama to Beatty, left wing. Bounce pass back to Caceres, over to Pena, right wing. Quickly over to the right corner to Wheeler. Drives baseline, finds Henderson in the paint. He runs into a defender. They call the block foul. I'm not sure they're going to say that shot was up yet or not. They call the block regardless. And wait to see if they're going to, nope, they're going to say 2 shots. That means it was on the floor. Carrasco picks up his first. 15th foul, but it's going to be double bonus anyway, according to my numbers. Yep, and
exactly.
It'll be 2 for the big kid, Parker Henderson. He's trying to work on a double-double. He's got 11 rebounds and 4 points, so hopefully some giveaways here for him on the line. Henderson shooting 58% from the charity stripe this season.
Hopefully he'll be able to clean it up and get both those in. It looked like he was in motion into the shot. Either way, though, double bonus, it doesn't matter.
Like to extend the lead to 3, but he misses the first off the back of the rim. Both teams are starting to hit a stalemate on poor free throw shooting here. He will get one more.
Now, historically, Henderson has been able to clean up his second shot, be able to make it in. I think he'll be able to do it this time.
That was only the 4th attempt of the game for the Eagles, and number 5 has missed off the back of the rim again underneath the hoop left block, pulling it down as McCaskill is 6th board. He'll take the dribble up the middle of the court in the front side now. Drives the right side of the lane on the hippity hop, sliding, throwing up a shot off the glass, no good. Tipped up in the air, ripped down on the right block by Wheeler, his second. He unloads to Caceres near left side, cross court right to Pena, back to Caceres. He'll bring it across, slings it down to Beatty, right wing. He wants a 3, gets his arm ripped, no call, an air ball. And I think they're going to give it back to Roswell. Now, they either hit the arm or the ball there, but the official's going to point to the base. It will be Hobbs basketball. Beatty was kind of flinching there, trying to get the ref's attention, but not going to get the foul call. Beatty an inbound, throws it back deep to Pena, right wing. He fires up a tray himself off the front of the rim, pulled down to the free throw line by Wheeler, goes back up with a hook shot off the glass and scores. Wheeler sending a message tonight. He's got 4 points and 3 boards. 48-45, Eagles by 3. 20 seconds left third. At the other end, faking a 3 left is Palomino. Goes to the rack, scoops it over the top of the rim and scores. Palomino with 4. Down to 10 seconds. Here comes Pena. Up by 1. Over to Beatty in the left corner. Spins around to the left elbow. Fade shot is rejected. Rebound going back up on the left block. Foul. Leaning backwards is Wheeler. And he'll get 2 free throws as the ball sails over the rim. Wheeler has 4 rebounds now. He's getting a chance for free throws.
And one of the things we didn't think we'd be saying is Wheeler is making a difference in this third quarter. Getting Hobbs back into it could make it a 2 or 3 point lead for them at the end of the third quarter.
That was the second on Carrasco. 15 foul, both teams in the double bonus, the 2.8 that's left of it. As Wheeler is going to get the first free throw off the back of the rim, but not taking advantage either team of putting the free throws down in a very close ball game. It might be okay here in the third, but that fourth has been a pretty much a tug of war last season. Both teams getting 37 against each other. Second shot, Wheeler got across the line a little bit too quickly, but they're going to say go ahead and give it to him as he swishes it through. 1 of 2 on the line. He's got 5, and really not much of a chance for a shot as the ball came off at about .2, and that's the end of the third quarter. Your Hobbs Eagles with a 2-point lead here in Roswell. It's anybody's game, 49-47 over the Coyotes. We'll be back in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to fourth quarter action here in Roswell as the Hobbs Eagles leading the Coyotes in the first game of district 49-47. Big difference in this game has been free throw opportunities. Hobbs just 2 of 5 on the line for 40%, but Roswell been there quite a bit. 10 of 19 for 52%. Not taking advantage in the second half, though, having some issues with the free throws. But that 10 points has definitely helped in this ball game. It's just a 2-point lead for Hobbs. Again, 49-47. We start the third quarter. Eagles are led 14 for both Turbiatis and Pena. And for Roswell, it's Saraceno with 14. Roswell basketball to start the fourth. In the hands of McCaskill after a pass. Behind the back pass to Carrasco on the left wing. Spinning. Jump stop, left block, turnaround hook shot, air ball. Rebound underneath Cloud with the reverse layup on the right side. Nice job with the glass work there for Cloud. He's got 8. 49 all, we're tied. Here comes Pena, stop and go in the front court. Falls to the floor right, gives it off to the right baseline. To Wheeler, tries to take it to the rack. They call the shuffle feed and the travel. Coach Ross not liking that one. That will be the Eagles' turnover, their 23rd of the ball game. They've been kind of a lot less free turnovers in this third quarter. They kind of cleaned that up a bit, Ron.
They did, but it still hasn't helped as far as scoring. They have tied each of them at getting 13 points in that third quarter. Hobbs needs to distance themselves if they want to get this victory.
Is that the unlucky number 13?
It's a conspiracy, some people would say.
Here in the fourth quarter, 49 all. Cloud will come across with the dribble, up top to Fuentes. Gets stuck in the lane after the dribble, finds Carrasco, comes across the lane himself, kick out to the right wing to Palomino. Dribbles around some screens there, stop and go, left side of the rack, goes up high off the glass and scores. Got right in the face of Turbiatis that time. Palomino gets his 6th point, and Turbiatis smartly just got up straight, but could not get a block on the shot there. A 2-point Coyote lead, and Vega comes across the timeline off the dribble far right side and went up in the air, came back down, and did not do anything with the basketball, but hit the floor on his feet there. That's a travel. So the Eagles, again, 2 turnovers in a row. He just said they were cleaning that up in the third and already having some issues here. 24 TOs so far.
Exactly. Every possession is going to count, and they definitely do not need to do that again.
Inbound to Cloud. He'll slow it down as he comes across against Pena. Gives it up top to Carrasco. To the right baseline to McCaskill underneath the hoop. Coming back door, but Cloud goes up high over the front rim. Clinks off, no good. Pena with the rebound is 4th. Back door and a layup on the way for Wheeler on the right side, high off the glass. Wheeler has 7 points. 51-51. Diving on the floor, Cloud as he lost the ball in the lane. Gets it down to the right block, and getting tripped is Palomino. I'm going to call that a floor foul there. He hit the hardwood that time. As they get the foul on Wheeler, that's his 2nd. Going to be Roswell basketball right of the rim as they face their hoop. Tied up at 51. Carrasco to inbound, chucks it back deep. 3 on the way from the left side for McCaskill. Bats around the rim off the glass and back in the hole. He got very lucky on that one. He's got 9. 54-51. Hobbs down by 3. They zing it down to the right wing, front court to Wheeler. Jab step as he's guarded by McCaskill. Returns back deep to Vega. Swing left side to Pena. Pena guarded now closely by Cloud. Just kind of crossing it over, standing in place here. Uses up his dribble though on the near sideline. Dumps it into Turbiatis. Hand back to Pena left corner. Drives the rack. Reverse layup with the windmill action underneath the hoop left to right. It's scored off the glass. Beautiful ball control. Pena's got 16. Eagles down by 1, 54-53. 5:50 remaining in the game. Cloud on the front court. Jump stop. Unloads left wing to McCaskill. Drives the lane. Got stripped. Gets the ball back and fade on the right baseline. They're going to say he shuffled the feet and the travel. Eagles doing a good job of standing their ground that time. For Roswell, that's their 8th turnover. And now returning for the Eagles off the sub is Lyric Soria as he checks in for Vega.
Even Ronald Ross was over here indicating the walk had happened, and yes, it did.
Inbound to Soria in the backcourt, guarded by Cloud. Gives it over to Caceres to the timeline, but it's behind Pena, stolen by Roswell. And going to the rack with the layup at the other end. Count it for Carrasco. Carrasco now has got himself back in the books. He's got 9. Eagles throw a long pass down to Turbiatis in the paint, but it's stripped away from McCaskill. Throws it off the leg of Turbiatis on the near left sideline. It goes out of bounds. And the Eagles are starting to rack up these turnovers in the fourth quarter. They've got 26 now in the ball game.
It looked like Hobbs had a great setup going. Turbiatis had the ball or near the ball, but could not get it. The pass was intercepted.
So far in this quarter, a total of 6 for Roswell, and the Eagles have had 4. Pass to the free throw line to Cloud to the front court. He pivots, throws it out over to Carrasco on the left wing, guarded by Wheeler. Spins into Wheeler in the lane. Fadeaway jumper off the front of the rim. No good. Caceres waiting for it underneath the hoop. His 2nd rebound for the Eagles. Down to the front court off the dribble. 5 minutes remaining. Eagles down by 3. Dish to the left base, or Lyric Soria 15-foot off the back of the rim. No good, but tip back up and in with 2 hands on the right glass. Wheeler, 5th rebound. And 9 points, almost double digits. The JV kid showing something here in Roswell land. 56-55, Roswell by 1. Slowing it down is McCaskill in the front court. Crossover move, wait for a screen. Takes it against Palomino. Spins on the right elbow, free throw line. Soria getting a hand on the ball. Kick out to the right base to Palomino. Underneath the hoop, double clutch. He tried to back into Turbiatis and gets a block foul. That will be a shooting foul as well, as Turbiatis has picked up his 4th personal. And that will be the 2nd team foul against the Eagles here in the fourth quarter. The referees are telling the subs to get back. Everybody's coming on the court here. 3 or 4 guys came out on the court, and the other official from the backside had signaled them in, and she had to chase them back to the bench area because there's supposed to be some free throws here. And the Hobbs Eagles coming over to Coach Ross didn't realize they're having free throws. They have to have at least 2 of their guys in the paint before they can get that bounce to the free throw shooter. That is Palomino, who's 0 for 2 from the charity stripe.
Yeah, a little confusion, but definitely the call was good. However, going to see if Roswell's woes on the line continue.
Palomino, first free throw is up, and it is a swish. They do get that one. They were 10 of 19 up to that point for 52%. One more for Palomino. He's got 7 points. 57-55, Roswell by 2. I believe the biggest lead has only been 3 for Roswell and 4 for the Eagles, so this thing has been close from the get-go.
Correct.
Second shot coming for Palomino is another swish. 8 points for him now, 2 for 4 on the line total, 58-55. Pena gets stripped to the timeline, taken away, 27 turnovers, going to the rack to the other end, missing a scoop shot by McCaskill. Rebound in the left block. There's a foul on the push. As going up high with it was Palomino. So Palomino picked up his 5th board, and he's going to the line. As they get the foul on the Eagles, they'll charge that to Pena, so some foul trouble, Ron. 4 for Pena, 4 for Soria, 4 for Turbiantes.
Yeah, we got foul troubles going on, plus we got 2 away from the bonus for the Coyotes. It's just, so far, it's just coming up against Hobbs. Hobbs needs to clean it up a little bit, be able to keep their cool and get back in this game.
Again, Palomino hit his next free throw. That's 3 for 3 here in the 4th quarter. He's got a total of 9 points, trying to make it double digits. A 4-point lead. Make it still 4 as he misses the free throw. The biggest lead of the game, though, 59-55. Rebound by Henderson, his 12th board. Outlet far side to Pena. He'll bring it across. Waiting to get some teammates to help him out. Stop and go, dribbling through his legs. Crossover, puts back to Turbiantes at the timeline. To the right wing, lost the ball as he tries to go forward, slides on his stomach through the baseline and lost it ahead of him. That'll be another Eagle turnover, trying to do a little bit too much with it that time. 28 Hobbs Eagle turnovers.
That has happened too many times for the Eagles. They're trying to fly high, and then still they have trouble keeping the ball.
59-55 Roswell, 3:57 remaining in the game. Into the front court, backing into his defender, Saraceno. Cross court right to Fuentes, drives baseline, backs out of the defense, throws up a big shot from deep, right inside the three-point line, but waited too long to throw that up because there was Henderson with the big hawk arm, swatting it to the Roswell bench on the near right sideline.
Yeah, clean swat all the way, block nice, and it's just another effort to get this back into it.
Did I say hawk arm? I meant eagle arm.
Oh, eagle, yes.
I got the wrong bird for our own team here. I'm fired, Ron. Take over. Roswell basketball. Deep pass in the left corner. Saraceno's 3 clinks off the rim. No good. Put back up and rejected. Fuentes is getting a hand on was Henderson, but gets his own rebound in the right corner. Throws it up top, faking a 3. McCaskill goes underneath the hoop. Scoop pass to the left wing to Palomino. Fade away from 10 and nails it right outside the left of the paint. Palomino starting to get some points here in the 4th quarter. He's got 7, 11 overall. 6-point lead, the biggest of the game for Roswell, 61-55. A 3 at the other end for Vega, left corner off the front of the rim, no good. Loose at the free throw line. We got 2 Roswell players, 2 Eagles players battling on that line, and the arrow, luckily for the Eagles, so that'll keep it in their front court. But they got to get some points quick. They're down by 6, 3:10 remaining in the 4th. And on the court now for Roswell on the sub is Zy Carrasco as he checks in for Manny Fuentes.
Yeah, Wheeler was in the mix on that one, trying to get the ball. Just could not get the handle on it, got the jump instead.
Pena and Turbiantes both with 14 in the game. Inbound to Pena, shoots it from the left baseline, 10-footer off the side of the rim, no good. Underneath the hoop is Carrasco for his 4th rebound for the Coyotes. Sails it across the timeline to Palomino on the right wing, dribbling through his legs against the defensive Wheeler. Crossover to his left hand, Wheeler stand right with him. Unloads left wing to McCaskill, fakes an NBA 3, but Henderson steps out with a hand up, and that's not going to be a shot for McCaskill. Backs it out to the timeline with the dribble. 2:45 left in the contest. Now comes back at Henderson. Drives the lane, jump stop in the right block. Handed off, coming down the paint. Shot on the way off the back of the rim for Saraceno, but tipped back up and in by McCaskill over the front of the iron. Counted for him. He's got 11 and 7 rebounds and a timeout on the court. Your Hobbs Eagles trailing their biggest deficit of this game, 8, 63-55 with 2:35 remaining. We'll come back in 30 seconds live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Roswell. The Hobbs Eagles trying to get back in this one. Fourth quarter, 2:35 remaining, and Roswell by 8. Their biggest lead at 63-55. Soria gets the inbound on the far right sideline backcourt, gives it to Vega, and gets it back. Cross court left to Vega. Dribbles up the near left sideline to the front court, unloads to Pena. 2:25 left, zings it down the lane, but right in the hands of Roswell as it goes out towards the right near sideline. And that'll be another turnover, number 29 for the Eagles. Definitely they're unraveling here in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. Pass it to the front court to McCaskill, just sliding right to left with the dribble. Taking on Turbiatis, middle of the court now with 2:07 remaining. The clock has stopped. Now it got back going again. Unloads the right wing to Carrasco, down to the right corner. Three-shot attempted by Saraceno. No, he fakes it. He'll drive to the rack, runs over Pena, no call, and they got the basket off the glass. Boy, he did a great job of faking that three. Got me out of my chair there. 16 for Saraceno. 10-point Roswell lead, the biggest of the game, and a whistle in the front court. They got a hold foul called against Kyle Mosqueda. That'll be his second. Just the first team foul against Roswell here in the fourth quarter, so no free throws even close for Hobbs. Vega inbound just across the timeline on the far right sideline. Still down by 10, though. Hobbs is going to have to crank some trays to get back quickly in this one. They can't waste. And definitely the press is going to be coming. Vega's got the ball finally, gets into Pena on the right wing. Drives in the lane, fade away from the free throw line, off the front of the rim on the roll, no good. Board by Mosqueda. Outlet to the far side to McCaskill, still in the backcourt. Turbiatis has to step out on him, but he's got 4 fouls. Slowing it down, running the clock is McCaskill in the front court. Head fake, top of the arc, he'll back it out. Flicks it back to the timeline to Saraceno with 1:25. Jab step to the right wing, continues down the right lane to the rack all the way and scoops it through for 2. 18 for Saraceno. Eagles got caught watching flat-footed. They're down by 12. At the other end goes Pena. In the paint, got stripped from behind, and a call against Mosqueda. Back-to-back fouls on him on defense, his third. Coach Barola not liking it. Kind of stomping up and down the sideline there on front of the bench, but that's only the third, or make it the second team foul, so Eagles will have to take it on the baseline with 1:12 remaining, down by 12.
Eagles need some quick possessions to be able to get a run going if they want to get anywhere near this game. 12-point deficit with 1:12, and it's not looking good for them.
Big inbounds to Pena. Thought about an NBA three on the left wing. Decides against it. Tough pressure coming out on Saraceno there. Spin move at the left elbow. Free throw line. Lost the ball. Picked up on the right wing by Wheeler. Backs into his defender. Hippity hop down the lane. Double clutch over the front of the rim. No good. Ball loose. Pulled down to the left base. For Roswell, that's McCaskill's 8th rebound. He'll dribble into the front court with 50 seconds remaining. Gives it off on the left wing to Palomino. Returns back deep to McCaskill. Take it on Turbiatis. Backs it out again. And letting the clock run at 40. This continues to charge of Turbiatis, then retreats. Gives it over to near sideline to Saraceno in front of the score table. Jab step for him. Pena guarding him. Cross court left to McCaskill. Now at the timeline, going left to right. Backs it out to the big R in the middle of the court with 25. He's going to run the clock out. Turbiatis has to step out. He's got 4 fouls, as we mentioned before. And here comes the clock, still down to 18. Uses up his dribble. Pushes it out to the right wing to Palomino after a double team. Cross court left to Carrasco. The Hobbs Eagles are just kind of waiting around to see where the ball was going next. Back deep to McCaskill. He just hunches over the ball. And it's kind of this hugging Turbiatis with 1 second as the Eagles are just going to say that's it. 67-55. Hobbs losing this one by 12 here in Roswell. Eagles drop to 0-1 in district. And the Roswell Coyotes improve to 1-0. Eagles go to 8-13 overall. Roswell up to their 12-9 record. We will take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. We're back live here in Roswell. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and Evie Stuber back at the station in Hobbs. Your Hobbs Eagles unfortunately losing to Roswell 67-55, dropping 0-1 in district and 8-13 overall as Roswell improves to 1-0 in district and their overall record at 12-9. Looking at the numbers in this game, first for the Coyotes, they had 3 in double digits. That included Rylan Saraceno. He had 18 points, 2 rebounds, and lots of free throws. He was 3 for 5 from the charity stripe for 60%, and started off the game with three free throws himself. So he was kind of the leader in that category for a little bit of time. Jacob Palomino finished with 11 points. He was 3 of 6 from the line with 5 rebounds. Stephen McCaskill finishing close to a double-double with 11 points and 8 boards. He can continue with some big free throw shooting in the second quarter. He went 4 of 5 from the line. Didn't get any free throws in the second half, but had a tray in the third quarter, again finishing with 11. Zai Carrasco with 9 points. He was 0 for 2 from the line, did hit a tray, and had 4 rebounds in the contest. Jalen Cloud, the point guard, with 8 points, 2 for 4 on the line, and 3 rebounds. And Josh Martinez and Kyle Mosqueda both getting a bucket apiece for 2 points apiece. 8 scores in this game, and I think you see kind of a trend there in terms of a lot of guys getting free throw opportunities for Roswell. They were 13 of 23, Ron, for 56%. That percent is not a good number. They get enough to get the win here by 12, but that could have been better if they could have hit some more of their free throws. A pretty decent job in the first half. I think they'd only had 1 miss, but then the third quarter was just getting worse and worse for them there.
Yeah, the third quarter they could not buy a free throw, which was great for Hobbs. Hobbs, on the other hand, wasn't even getting close to the line. Maybe got a couple of attempts, but still, they were not getting enough foul calls to be able to get to the charity stripe to be able to make a difference in this one. And the fourth quarter, the wheels just fell off. Actually, third quarter, they didn't do as well either, but they did manage to keep it at least close, managed to score the same as Roswell. But again, though, it was just all about, it seemed like it was control of the basketball. Hobbs was having a lot of difficulty at times being able to control the ball. They were turning it over a lot. And Roswell wasn't helping anything either as far as getting in those passing lanes and be able to get those pickoff passes.
Yeah, they only had 8 turnovers, did Roswell. Hobbs ended up with 29, so that definitely is the difference in the ball game. Eagles did win the rebounding battle 31-24. Roswell's top boardman, McCaskill, had 8 in the game, 5 for Palomino, 4 for Carrasco, and 3 for Cloud, the leaders for the Coyotes. So there's the numbers for them. Hobbs, on the other hand, had a couple in double digits. That included Abraham Pena's 16 points. He was perfect on the line, 2 for 2, had a couple of trays in the game, and 4 rebounds. Jairus Turbiatis finishing with 14 points and 6 rebounds. He was 0 for 1 from the line. And then those were the 2 in double digits. Getting close, though, JV player Amron Wheeler getting his first action tonight and really showing something out there. Had 9 points. He was 3 for 4 from the line. Also had 6 rebounds. So I think he probably has earned himself some playing time on the varsity level here the next couple of ball games in district, because he definitely was showing something on the road for the Hobbs Eagles. Other scores tonight, Jordan Caceres, 5 points, including a tray. He had 2 rebounds. Braylon Vega, kind of a quiet night offensively, did not score in the second half. 5 points, including a tray and 3 boards. Lyric Soria, the freshman who did get a start in tonight's game, he had a bucket for 2 points in the first half, but it was kind of straddled with some foul trouble throughout the ball game. And Parker Henderson, 4 points and 11 rebounds, was 0 for 2 from the line. The Hobbs Eagles getting 7 scores in this ball game. Again, they out-rebounded Roswell 31-24 with the 11 rebounds for Henderson. Turbiatis was 7, 4 apiece for Pena and Beatty, and Vega finishing with 3 rebounds as well. So lots of guys crashing for Hobbs in this game. Unfortunately, this couldn't get enough putbacks in through the hole or free throw opportunities to add to their score. Again, 29 turnovers, really not helping the cause whatsoever. And again, 2 for 5 from the line, 40%. So only 5 opportunities, 23 free throws attempted by the Roswell Coyotes. And the end of the game in the fourth quarter, it seemed like, just nip and tuck all the way through 3, Ron. 49-47, Eagles were leading at the end of 3. But a big difference in that fourth quarter, 20 points for Roswell and just 6 for the Eagles in that finale there.
Unfortunately, the wheels, like I said, just fell off for the Eagles. They just could not seem to get anything going for them, and they've had trouble in the earlier in this game, but they were able to bounce back and be able to get into it. It did help the third quarter, like we talked about, the fact that Roswell was just struggling with the free throws, but Hobbs, on the other hand, never got a chance to get any more of those free throws, and it was just tenacity And unfortunately, maybe because of the fact, we hate to give excuses on the fact that there was 3 major players that were missing, and we had other players that hadn't seen a whole lot of action against our guys. But still, in the end, you want to expect to see certain things happen. Wheeler was doing a great job. A few others were doing so good as well. Tribiatis looked like he was going to catch fire. Didn't quite get the chance to. Otherwise, this could be a different ball game. But still, Hobbs needed this victory. Roswell, of course, also needed the victory. Roswell just wanted it a little bit more than Hobbs did.
Hobbs only has to wait a couple of days to get back on the court. A lot of coaches and players like it that way. You don't want to have 20 practices in between. You want to get right back out there and make some adjustments. But they will be playing Clovis on Friday. The Wildcats winning tonight over Carlsbad 59-45, and that was thanks to a great first quarter. Clovis outscored the Cavemen 20-12, and we're up at halftime 32-18. So 14-point cushion there. Outscored Carlsbad 18-9 in the third. Carlsbad came back in the fourth quarter and outscored Clovis 18-9 to try to get back in that, but still a 14-point win for the Clovis Wildcats, who are now 1-0 in district. And again, Clovis has been kind of a downward spiral the last couple of seasons, but we've seen some resurgence there in the polls this year. Clovis at number 9 right now, and pretty respectable. I think it was 12.6 strength of schedule. So they're showing something. They got some improvement going on there, but they're going to have to play at Tasker Arena. Never an easy job for any team that comes. I don't care whose record is what and where we're at that point in time.
Exactly, and just like with Roswell, it doesn't matter what your record shows. It depends on what you do out there. Roswell playing with a lot of heart. Hobbs just caught off guard and just with 3 short. And just like earlier with the Hobbs JV, Hobbs had a lead but came back. Roswell came back, ended up winning that game in the end, 74-71. Hobbs just tried to get back into it. Could not. The JV losing that game as well in a little bit of a heartbreaker.
Should mention Clovis does have some pretty successful victories this season. They beat Rio Rancho, beat them by 21 points. Las Cruces, the team the Eagles beat, they beat them by 4, which is a little bit less than what Hobbs got to win at Task Arena. Knocked off Cibola by 21. I'm just talking about 5A squads here. Lost a close one to La Cueva by 5. That's an impressive game there. Beat El Dorado by 16 points. Santa Fe, they won in overtime. That's a ranked team by 3, 58-55. Lost to Oregon Mountain by a big substantial amount, 17 in that one. And then, of course, we mentioned Carlsbad just recently, 59-45. Atrisco Heritage beat them by 8 just about a week and a half ago. So they played some top 20 teams in the 5A, and that's why they're ranked number 9. Got some victories out of some of those. But, again, when you play at Tasker Arena, you got to deal with the 6-man and, of course, the road trip on top of that. And usually how it's been happening is, close games in Clovis, come back to Hobbs, and Hobbs returns the favor with a big double-digit win. But kind of a different schedule this time around. Coming off an 0-1 record, I think that's going to kind of beef it up for Hobbs a little bit and hopefully get some of those guys back that we had not out there tonight.
Yeah, hopefully the illnesses will be rectified. Not quite sure if Hernandez is going to be able to get back from his ankle injury. Looked rather serious, but it looks like that Hobbs could still bounce back. They need to get these next 5 victories to be able to get a 500 plus. Of course, you got a couple of extra games afterwards because of district tournament. But still, Hobbs needs to get back into this, play like they did against Cleveland, and be able to go strong to the hoop and get some definitely extra points, whether it be through the fouls or just straight up getting it in the 2-point shots.
Hobbs JV lost tonight to Roswell as well, and of the Hobbs Lady Eagles victorious there at Task Arena in a major Mercy Roll blowout.
Yes, they did, and they got their 15th victory against the Lady Coyotes. It was a final of 61-11. Never really in doubt. The Hobbs Lady Eagles, of course, blew them away. That's usually what happens when you get them at Tasker Arena, especially during district. They just go ahead and trounce the first team and go ahead and say, you know what, bring them on. We're going to see what we can do, and definitely beat them at our own home court.
And that was a 50-point game over situation for Mercer. 35 is the running clock, 50 is game over. So that put that with a big exclamation point there at Tasker. So again, next game is coming up Friday night for the Hobbs Eagles. They will be at home at Tasker. 6:45 pregame show on the radio and the internet. And of course, 7 o'clock tip-off. Hobbs Lady Eagles will be on the road in Clovis for their second district game. And of course, I think we're going to see some energy, some motivation for the Eagles to try to get back on track to even up their record at 1-1. I'd like to thank our sponsors for Hobbs Eagle basketball on both radio and internet.
Yes, indeed. We want to thank First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Elite Home Healthcare, Lee County State Bank, Lasco Construction, TDS, Thriftway, The Coffee House, Innomar Pipeline, Devon Energy, The Model, Ampersand Media and Design, Hydrotech Services, and Divine Energy Services as well. Thank you very much, everybody, for your support. You guys keep us on the radio.
Once again, final score here in Roswell, the Coyotes 67, your Hobbs Eagles 55. Again, Friday night, we will be back on the radio and the internet at 6:45. Thanks to Evie Stewart back at the station. For Ron Gunner and myself, Ty Friend, have a great rest of a Tuesday out there, and we'll see you in just a couple of days.